You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Tyler, you're good.
Hello, Internet, and welcome. Welcome. God, I'm glad you're here. Man, it is good to see you. It's been like a week.
Who are you imagining? Tell me who you're imagining right now.
Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And Grim, and now and then.
No, you already said Phil.
They're all in a line. It's like a gangbang.
Was this like I was going to say kissing booth, but you went
Yeah, no, fuck that.
in a hardcore direction. That's all right.
It's a train.
Do you think there are fairs that instead of cooking booths, kissing booths, they have gangbang booths?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Surely.
Do they?
Probably at those Renaissance fairs, you know?
I don't know, man. I've been to a lot of them. Unless it's the porta potty.
Yeah, I think you have to have, maybe.
Just that one porta potty.
You have to have
is
a
this
code
the
word.
gangbang booth?
Is this the glory potty?
They take you to a special place. You got to have a code word.
Yeah. I never get it.
So this is TADPOG, Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games. The Ian part is silent. So today, courtesy of the Randomizer, we'll be talking about that famous SNES game, Tom and Jerry.
Jasper and Jinx?
Jasper and Jinx.
Kicking it old school.
That black and white English cartoon, Tom and Jerry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean
Those two
the
humans.
mixed drink, the Tom and Jerry?
Did you?
Or are you referring to British soldiers and German soldiers?
That's it.
Did you mean Gengar and Jinx? Is
That's
this the Pokemon
it.
spell?
That's the one.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch it too. I'll check one out.
For a minute.
Yeah. And then be like, I don't know, I'm good.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So, but before we get to Tom and Jerry, no suffix, just Tom and Jerry. Yeah.
Just Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
It's the one and only Tom and Jerry.
They knew.
everybody.
They knew. They're like, we're just making one of these for the Super Nintendo.
Just because.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So, there are a lot of Tom and Jerry video games.
There really are.
I didn't know
I did
until
the list, and
yeah,
I was like,
it's wild.
Jesus.
Up until there's like a mobile Tom and Jerry game. I don't know if it's still
It's like a
on the
iOS
marketplace.
game.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those running games.
Oh, that makes sense to do like an
I've been
endless runner.
Yeah, endless runner, but you're
always
Tom
chasing
Jerry.
right? And he's like constantly. I bet. I'm
Or if
assuming.
you're Jerry and it's like that subway chase game or whatever, you bump into something and he catches you and then you start over and pay
Henry loves that
pay
game.
99 cents.
Yeah. Where we don't pay anything.
Well, before we get to all that, I'm gonna go over there. Man, there's a hole over there. Oh man, it's Ian's horror hole.
Don't look. Don't look. It's too horrible.
I thought it was the Renaissance hole.
It was the Renaissance. That's the place, Dave.
That's the place.
You gotta go in the hole.
That's a hard pass for me, man. Those Renaissance porta potties are fucking rank.
A lot of syphilis in there.
You mean meat?
just all the syphilis?
Filled to the brim with syphilis.
Meat and Scotch eggs don't just go really well together.
In the summer heat, boiling in a
Yep.
plastic container.
Ooh. Goodness.
Bound in corsets.
I was
This is a horror hole.
welcome to the horror hole, the murder hole.
Before I get to the murder hole, the horror hole for the week, and it may not always be the horror hole, but I do like saying horror hole.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna leave it at that.
I like
guess.
seeing Ian's horror hole. Yeah.
It is
nice,
pretty
yeah.
horrible. I have a couple things I wanted to mention. First of all, Election Day was yesterday. I don't know if if you two voted.
What is Election Day?
We'll talk after the
Oh,
show.
okay. Did you mean Erection Day?
If certain people were pronouncing it, I suppose it would be Erection Day.
I voted. I elected. I did not erected though.
Right. I did both at the
Hey,
same
nice.
time.
Oh, boy.
I elected while erected.
Did they show you out?
No, they just stood and stared at me, and then I left, and it was weird.
Sir, this is not a Renaissance festival.
Where's the syphilis hole up in here?
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
This is a Wendy's.
So I just wanted to bring it up. No, we don't talk politics here much, but I am proud of our state.
We did a good thing.
We did a good thing. We passed.
Moderately.
Well, we didn't pass Amendment 2, which was going to prevent any future funding or abortion. It was not passed. Very thin margin, but it did not pass. So they won't be amending the Constitution to prohibit women from getting abortions for whatever reason. And there can be state funding for those abortions, and that's a good thing. I am not proud of my state for reelecting that fascist piece of shit, Rand Paul.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say.
By a wide
about it.
margin.
By a
Like
wide
Charles Booker got
margin.
blown out of the water,
Yeah.
and that sucks.
I voted for Charles Booker. I really, really wish, because I mean, Rand Paul didn't even bother to show up for the debate. He just knew he had it in the bag, and he's fine. He didn't care. He doesn't give a fuck about you guys.
and all the videos where he's like, I just want 2 terms. That's it.
6
That's it.
years
I'm
we
done.
have to wait for this asshole to get voted out again, or hopefully, I don't know if he says he's. So yeah, we've still got the 2 worst two of the worst senators in the Congress.
Yep.
Fucking Mitch McConnell.
Now
and
that
fucking
Lauren
Rand
Boebert might
Paul.
be out, yeah.
Oof. Ugh. So anyway, I'm proud of Kentucky, and I'm disappointed in Kentucky, but more proud because congrats on not passing.
Look,
because
all the
if you read the ballot, the way that the wording of this thing was,
It's really confusing.
it was so
really
confusing using
Yeah.
double negatives and stuff.
Sure.
They were trying to trick people into voting incorrectly.
It might have worked against them. I hope that's what happened.
I'm wondering if that isn't what happened, because yeah, it definitely could have worked against them. And I won't read the amendment, but it was something to like, to preserve
confusing.
human life, nothing shall ever be written in the Constitution that allows for the funding or guarantee of abortion. I mean, it was just,
Non-abortion
It was
is double
awful.
plus good.
yeah, it was written, and it was in this little. There was one guy wrote on Reddit that there's 3 columns on the back of the ballot. The middle column and the middle column and the right column were for the amendments, and the first one was the one guy referred to it as the length of a CVS receipt. Basically letting the Kentucky legislature decide that they can meet whenever they want to.
How did that one go? I didn't hear about.
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly. But then as almost a footnote at the bottom right corner in this tiny little piece of the column was the abortion bill thing. And so anyway, that got not passed.
Right.
Right, exactly. It did not pass. So women in Kentucky still have the right to get abortions. And that's what I was shooting for, what people I know of and discussed with were hoping for. That right to choose was retained.
Yep.
So good for y'all. Even if you didn't mean to, good for y'all.
We did it.
We did it, I guess. Okay, so on to the good stuff. Stuff I watched this week. I still have not started Chainsaw Man. I promise you I will.
That's all right. I'm not gonna look. If I'm not holding you to it ever.
No, I'm just letting you know.
I just think you'd like it. That's all.
I take that very seriously. Even if you may not, I do. So
Why would I not? Why would I not take it seriously?
no, that I'm just saying
course I
I
take
will
it
watch
seriously.
it.
No, it's.
I don't want you to worry. I got it covered, and I know you're
I'm not. I'm super not.
Okay.
I know you do.
We'll hit that.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where it's like, I'm also not the kind of person where it's like, hey man, I think you'd like this thing. You should check it out. And if you never check it out,
Yeah,
I'm
sweat. Right?
completely fucking fine with that.
Same.
And if you tell me I'm not gonna watch it, I'll never bring it up to you again.
Yeah, well, I am, but the reason I said it was because I did spend a lot of time on Hulu this week.
Yeah.
Before I did that, I got caught up on the new season of Titans, Pennyworth, and I'm watching Doom Patrol.
Titans, I remember
I'm in a
them.
DC kind of mood this week.
I haven't seen any of those. I've heard they're good. I've heard Doom Patrol's like really good.
Doom Patrol so far has been good. I've only made it about 4 episodes into that series, and I think there's 2 seasons right now. I'm super fond of Pennyworth, and I like Titans, but it's very... If it hadn't been for HBO Max, that show would have been watered down and put on the CW. It's kind of that superhero, like The Flash and Arrow. And like I liked those shows, but I was never terribly proud of the fact that I liked them.
Yeah.
But Titans is a good show. It's just a little bit more. I don't know. There's a little bit more drama sometimes than I prefer.
Is it live action?
It is live action.
Oh, okay.
It's not Teen Titans. It's Titans.
Okay.
So there's those three that I got caught up. But what I wanted to bring up, and this goes more along the lines of the horror hole.
Great.
There is this series of movies, this anthology series of full-length movies called Into the Dark that's on Hulu. We just found this thing by accident, and there's like 20 horror movies. They're like horror or thriller or that genre. They're Blumhouse type movies.
Okay.
We just stumbled across this thing on Hulu by accident, and this has turned into kind of a fucking gold mine. I have really been enjoying a lot of these movies, and there's 4 movies I wanted to bring up.
How old are they?
Recent.
Okay.
Like from 2019. They've just been cranking these things out, and I don't know if like some of these were just movies that were made and then picked up and given the brand of Into the Dark
and all
or whatever.
That, yeah.
Right. They all have sort of a similar feel, and they're good, hour and 10 to hour and 30-minute movies, not terribly long. They get right to the point kind of thing. Some, for better or for worse, I'm shocked that we'd never seen any of these movies because you know how we are. We watch all these horror movies all the time and everything else. So there's 4 movies that I wanted to bring up from that I would recommend giving a good watch to.
Okay.
Especially the first one I will bring up is called Pilgrim. It's the rare Thanksgiving-based horror film.
Oh, man. Poultrygeist?
I thought it was a John Wayne horror film.
Sure.
Without
Pilgrim.
the Gacy.
With no Gacy. Preferably no John Wayne. But no, this one is about this kind of overprivileged family that the mother decides to hire these original Thanksgiving Day reenactors to come to the house and have Thanksgiving, like reenact the first Thanksgiving.
That sounds terrifying.
That
and
is
it's
the most whitewashed piece of shit in the history. Well, one of the most whitewashed things ever. Right?
Adam's Family Values too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And things go terribly wrong. It's a really good movie. I was super shocked. And I also thought, wow, it's really neat that we have a Thanksgiving-based slasher film.
That's like the Grindhouse trailer, right? Wasn't one of those trailers Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
I might be
Maybe.
wrong.
I'll have to look that up because I don't remember that.
I don't think it actually became a real movie. Like,
like it was one of the
Machete did,
fake.
but it was, yeah.
Oh, right. I'll have to look at that then.
I'm going to check it. I'm gonna
look for that.
I need to
wanna
look
see
right
that.
now, yeah.
The next one I got off of this series is called A Nasty Piece of Work. And this one stars Julian Sands as this boss of a giant company. This movie is kind of like in the style of Ready or Not, the Belko Experiment. Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, sorry.
Ready or Not, Belko Experiment, also a little sprinkle of Christmas Vacation, where the CEO of this gigantic corporation decides that he's not giving out any Christmas bonuses and instead invites 2 of his up-and-coming junior assistant executive types to come out to his house and prove to him that they're worthy of succeeding him or being made executives. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a blood sport thing. Like they're going to have to fight it out.
Running Man?
Maybe not. Yeah, sort of, kind of. Did you ever see the movie Ready or Not?
No.
It was kind of similar to that.
I haven't even heard of it.
Another great horror film.
Yeah, okay.
That movie is about a woman who marries a man whose family is in the business of making board games.
Oh, okay.
They've been around like Nintendo long, like making board games and card games and things. And every year when someone gets married, they have a tradition that the whole family gets together at the house and they spin a wheel and play a game. Whatever game lands on the wheel is the game that they play as a family. It's just a tradition. Hide and seek, however, is on the wheel, and that's a bad one because in hide and seek, the bride has to hide from the family all night while they try to kill her.
Okay. Who put this on the wheel? Are they all like that? Is there any indication that they're all like twisted like this, or is it just hide and seek?
It's just
they're all like,
that's the one.
Fuck. Or are they excited about it?
No, they're like, oh no.
Oh, who put Squid Game on the wheel? Shit.
Right, exactly. That's a great movie.
Is that like 80s? It sounds...
No, it's very recent.
What?
The woman that Samara Weaving, Hugo Weaving's daughter, the one that plays the elf guy in Lord of the Rings.
Matrix.
And then Agent Smith in the Matrix.
No, the elf.
The Agent Elf Smith. Got it. I never get that right. His daughter is in it. She's the main character. It's I think it came out maybe 2018, 2019.
Wow, that sounds like an early 80s like
it really
horror
does.
Concept.
Big recommend on that one.
Okay.
Big recommend on Ready or Not. But my last two that I wanted to bring up from this Into the Dark series was two movies called Paducah, Pooka, and Paducah 2, Paducah Lives. I don't want to say much about Paducah, but it's based around this doll called Paducah.
Uh-huh.
Both movies are independent of one another. Paducah 2 is not directly tied to Paducah 1.
I bet the Paducah 1 people were real upset about that.
Well, I don't know. Probably not, given the way that movie goes.
Paducah in Irish mythology is a hobgoblin.
Okay.
I just wanted to see what Paducah looks like.
I don't want to get into too much because the stories for both of these movies are so good, and they're on Hulu for just out there for you to watch on Hulu.
Paducah looks like a methed out Furby.
Paducah is a meth with headlights for eyes. Those are car-sized headlights.
Okay.
The general concept is there's this struggling actor who is given the job of playing the role of Paducah.
Oh, cool.
To sell this new doll, this new sensation that they've drummed up all this hype over. And he's the only guy in the Paducah costume, and you can only get Paducah in one place. And it's, they've really made it kind of this desirable thing. And so, of course, they've got people lined up around the block. And this guy is Paducah, and they're paying him a ridiculous amount of money to do it. So he takes the job, and things happen after that. I'm not going to get into, but it's really cool.
It sounds neat.
It has a really, really interesting way that the story goes. And I thought it was going to be about a maniacal fucking doll that chases people around Chucky style. No, it wasn't at all like that.
Dog of Chucky,
methed out teddy bear of Chucky.
Man, okay, so Chucky had a doll. Follow me. Chucky's a doll, but he had a doll, and this doll
had a dog.
Had a dog named
Paducah.
And whenever Puka's not on screen, everybody should be asking, where's Paducah?
Paducah, and then Paducah 2, Paducah Lives, is a completely different story, which also happens to be centered around Paducah.
Seems adequate.
It's like the way... It will make more sense if you watch these movies. And none of these movies are terribly long. Like I said, they get right to the point and they don't drag it out. And
these are part of the Into the Dark?
The Into the Dark series. Okay. I would love for anyone that's seen any of these movies that are in this series, reach out to me, let me know which ones you've seen, and tell me what you thought, because I think this was just a kind of a really unusual find that I was able to Tanya stumbled across them. And we watched like 3 of them in one day. I was like, holy shit, these are fucking great movies. How did we miss out on this? So anyway,
cool.
That's my horror hole for the week. 4 stars on all. Check it out.
A Puka sounds like a penis-shaped hash pipe. You want to hit off this Puka?
If it's not that, it should be from now on.
Maybe Puka 3.
Let me hit that puka.
Yeah.
It's what I call my Paducah.
Puff puff puka.
Yeah. Near Paducah. if you want to hit us up at our P.O. box. Paducah, Kentucky.
Papuka.
That's a pretty good alternate title for our show.
Riding on the coattails of Ian's horror hole,
Climb out while you still can.
I watched 2 movies that you recommended last week.
I'm always nervous.
So did I.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God, I feel on the spot. Okay.
I hope they're the same 2 movies, and I bet they probably are. I watched Barbarian
Okay.
and I watched X.
All right.
I watched X as well. Melissa and I did.
So you then probably also watched Pearl
No.
because you said 2. Oh, okay.
I watched
Oh.
Host.
Host.
We watched Host.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have a lot of time, so we watched that one night.
Well, so, okay, so since we've all seen X,
This determines, by the way, whether or not, excuse me, I ever recommend movies.
no, I love your
I'm teasing,
I
I'm
love your
teasing.
recommendations. What did you think of X?
I
Tyler?
liked it. I feel a lot. I really want to see Pearl. Melissa and
I
I both.
don't want to see Pearl.
It was
Based
hard.
on X?
Yeah.
It was a hard sell for Melissa for a while. She was not into it, but then got into it.
It's just not. It just was not a scary movie to me at all. Like, I mean, it
No,
was.
it wasn't. It was more of a psychological horror film.
Yeah, and it's like
There was the typical hack and slash kind of stuff.
that
but
they leaned on heavily. Like it's
Yeah.
it's gory,
it's a hacker movie.
and I get that. I guess I just don't. I guess that's just not for me.
Pearl is a completely different animal. I don't know how you'd feel about it.
I don't.
If you didn't
I'm not
like
gonna.
X,
I've already decided. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna watch Pearl. I mean, just because it's
That's
like
fair.
there's so much shit that I want to watch.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
it's like I don't want to be like. Because here's what's gonna happen if I watch Pearl and I'm like, I didn't hate X. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where it's like I really liked the movie up until the killing started.
right.
Because it's
I
like
get
up
that.
until then it was like really interesting, and then it became like a. I literally, like the end of the movie, I didn't say anything because Nikki and I watched it. I didn't want to color her opinion on it or anything like that. But at the end of the movie, I was like, was I supposed to be afraid of the elderly people in this movie? Because at no point was I like,
Right.
this is totally believable that 5 young, able-bodied
Well,
people.
that's how I was like, how were they going to justify them killing them? How is every one of these going to be justified? It was okay. They did an okay job at it.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I mean,
Like killing the people that, like, I mean, are you talking about the elderly couple?
how
died,
the
or-
elderly people off the younger people.
Oh, how they're. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was like, I don't want him to like take a swing. I don't want him to get
Right.
the old man to get in a fight with the black ex. You know,
I wanted
expat.
that because it was just like, fucking kill this old dude. He's obviously like, you've been like, how many tours did you do in Nam? You got to know something's up.
Right. Why is your spider sense not tingling?
Yeah.
I know.
He's
I know.
high and he just came really hard. Like he's in a groovy place. So it's just like, I'll help this old man. Well, damn. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think it was a bad movie. It just wasn't. It wasn't a movie for me.
I liked the style of it, and I liked the cinematography.
Yeah,
I watched
sure.
that movie with
Cinematography's great.
cinematography eye because I studied that a little bit
Sure.
in college, and I really got it. And that's why I liked Pearl as well, for the visual aspect of it.
Yeah.
The storytelling in it is a little bit kind of
I was waiting for Chekhov's alligator.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I mean, for sure. And then when it happened, I was like, all right, okay.
I was glad Brittany Snow was working because I like Brittany Snow.
I know, right?
Well, like,
And the fact that she was playing kind of an aged porn star,
Yeah.
whatever, I like that too.
Have you
because-
seen Would You Rather? She's the star in that. That's
Yes,
a horror movie.
Have seen
Yeah.
Would You Rather? Not a bad.
I
movie.
like that.
and I'm in the minority with X because people love that movie. Because like afterwards, I was like, what? I'm looking online. It's like, what is so good about X?
There's a huge hipster kind of fan base to this movie.
Well, I can see where Mia Goth would. I can see where Mia Goth.
No, Mia Goth.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
Damn.
I
could
thought
see
we were
where-
done with that. Okay, we're not.
No.
Okay, great.
I could see where she would have like a hipster cult following. 100%.
I could too.
And she's fucking married to Shia LaBeouf.
Well,
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
And
okay.
you bringing her up, like another reason that I kind of want to pump the brakes on this is when I was doing that research, and it's like, oh, this is a trilogy. And it's like, man, fuck this. Like,
I was surprised
fuck
to see
this,
the
like,
third one.
We're making this like, it just seems like it's intentionally, and it's fine. If you want that, it's fine. But it's not. I don't want it unless like the first one's like really gripping and scary,
right?
And then it's like, fuck yeah, this is what I want. I want more of this. So I get it. If that's what you want, it's exciting. But man, God, it wasn't bad.
No, I
agree. The cinematography, even that opening shot, when it's shot from like, it's brilliant. It's shot from inside the barn where a lot of the shit goes down, and it's like it's this like 4:3 aspect ratio shot because of the framing of the barn door.
Yeah,
and then the camera pushes through, and it opens up on the full house, and you see the additional cop cars and stuff. It's a beautiful shot, and there are a lot of shots in this movie where it's like, I honestly don't know how it was done.
No shit.
Where it's like, the camera will pull back and it's like, it's so smooth. And it's like, how do they do that?
Yeah.
So I did really appreciate all of that. Like a lot of care was put into that.
Yeah. And again, I given what Pearl is a completely different type of movie than X, but it's completely understandable why that's not going to be on your radar, because I didn't know what the fuck I was getting into on either one of them.
That would have helped me. Going in not knowing that this was a horror movie would have been like the best fucking thing ever. Because I think they're even trying to do that, because they reference Psycho in the movie where it's like, half of the movie is this, and then half of the other half of the movie is this. And that's what X is like. Half of the movie is this, and that's the part that I really like.
Yes.
And then half of the movie is this not scary horror movie.
Well, and that was the thing too for me about Psycho. I always liked the first part of Psycho the most.
Yeah.
And the second part, he said, what? Oh, God. I never really I get it, but
Sure.
I never really cared for it.
Sure.
So I completely get that. But, I'm glad you watched it.
I wanted to watch it. It was something that was on my list for a long time. So I'm really glad that you brought it up so that I could watch it. There are things I want to talk about that's just like completely spoils the movie.
Yeah.
Where
You don't ever see his dick.
you kind of do. You see the silhouette of it. I love that shot.
Yeah.
That shot is fucking brilliant.
He's standing in the doorway, backlit at
this
night.
is the soldier.
And
the soldier turned porn star.
Bro got dangle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome. And
it's great.
It had that same kind of Boogie Nights thing going for it, where you know what they're doing.
Sure.
And it's that, yeah.
And I think that that's perfect. That's pitch perfect. All of that is great. I just wish I was scared at in the very least. But the whole time I'm just like, it's elderly people.
You don't think being groped by a dementia patient's scary? Just getting in bed and I'm just...
Haven't you ever heard the term of old man strong?
Yeah, I have, but I don't know. In that scene where she's in the bed, sure, it's creepy.
But it's not.
But it's I mean, compared to what I just saw happen to the other people, it's like you should be grateful that.
Oh yeah.
You're being groped in bed by this octogenarian. Yeah. And I watched Barbarian, which I absolutely loved.
Barbarian was cool.
Barbarian is like, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Because
okay. I'm glad to hear these things too, because I also try to keep my eye open for things that people I know, when they give me insight into what they like and don't like, that I can kind of custom tailor my recommendations to you and be like, dude, you'll love this movie.
Barbarian ruled. I loved Barbarian.
Hannah Barbarian?
Hannah Barbarian. Hold on, I don't have achievements yet.
Hold on, I got my drag name.
I gave it up.
I thought Barbarian was really good. And like, I didn't know what some of the casting decisions in that movie were. So when someone appears, a main character, I was like, really?
Yeah.
And it was the way, I love the way that movie is structured. And I love how weird that movie got.
It got fucking really, really weird.
Super weird.
And I'm not going to spoil anything, but my favorite part about that movie, one of my favorite parts, but I'd say probably my top favorite part was how that fucking movie ended.
Yeah.
It just ended. And I loved that. That was, I was like,
I love the ending song too.
I know, right? And I froze for a minute. I'm like, I turned to Ty, I'm like, it's over. That's it. It ended. Holy shit.
I love the ending, but I do feel like it got a little like I know I mentioned Grindhouse earlier, but it got a little grindhousey at the end. Like when shit stops happening inside the house, the tone of the movie shifts in a way that I still like, but it becomes a lot more pulpy and like action oriented.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, which I mean, I don't know how else you end it, but everything like up to that point, like 7/8 of the movie was just like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
Yeah, it does. It keeps you irritated. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It keeps you just kind of thinking, holy God. That is one of the few movies where I found myself thinking about what would happen, like myself in that situation.
Yeah.
Because it's the way it's structured, it's kind of plausible.
I'd be dead.
Yeah, I know. And it's
Like,
just
sure.
like I was really able to empathize with the people in the story.
It's great. Yeah, absolutely. I could empathize with the characters. And what's awesome is because I had the luxury of going into Barbarian knowing nothing about it other than it's a horror movie. And that's the way you should go into this movie.
Absolutely.
Like they do such a good job, like even like in the very beginning where it's like, okay, I know this is a horror movie, but like I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know who to trust, and
That
it's like,
is
and it's just
true.
like, what the, you know, I'm trying to piece all this shit together, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, oh, that's what this is.
Aha.
Yeah, it's cool,
Yeah.
and I also thought it was really neat how they do like the mongoose cobra thing. I like that symbolism a lot. The
Yeah.
Ricky Tikki Tavi, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's got the cobra in her rear view and all that. I thought it was really cool.
Very cool.
So yes, thank you for that recommendation.
My pleasure. Glad you enjoyed it.
Staying up on Chainsaw Man and Spy Family as well. Oh, and most important news, I had Sam's Club Pizza for the first time.
All right.
It was really good. I went with Captain Gunner John.
The cheap lunch.
Yeah.
The $3
Dude.
huge slice of pizza
Dude.
and giant Coke
Dude.
lunch.
Well, it was a little bit more expensive because he told me the trick that you guys would do, which is one of you gets an extra slice and then you split that slice.
Yeah.
I had 3 slices of pizza, a giant Diet Dr.
We're
Pepper.
talking like, 44-ounce
Big
soda.
for $4.75.
Yeah.
I felt like I fucking like,
You felt like you cheated.
yeah, yeah, I
It's like,
did.
are you sure you only want? I ordered a Coke. Like I went there once and they had been having some problem. They never answer the phone. Like sometimes I'll try to call and say, "Hey, can you just make these? I'm on my way to pick them up." Sometimes they'll answer, sometimes they won't. But I went there once and the whole store was having issues with plumbing, so the kitchen was down. And I was
Ninja
like,
Turtles, probably trying to get that pizza.
Yeah, probably.
That pizza was straight up like the Supreme pizza. I told John, I was like, this looks like Ninja Turtles pizza. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It
really
looks like
does.
fucking Ninja. I've never had pizza that looked more Ninja Turtles than this.
I'm
mean,
so glad. I'm
Had
so
penicillin
glad.
on it.
no, the good Turtles pizza.
I'm so glad you went with Captain Gun Nerd as well because he was there to show you the trick.
I know. And it was great. I feel like I could have like told them, hey, I don't have any money, but I found some rocks in the parking lot that they would have given me a slice of pizza. Like
They might have.
It's that cheap. And it was good.
Well, I was gonna say when I went,
Joke's on you. We're just giving you pizza. Now we got rocks.
Yeah.
when I went and the plumbing was dead or whatever, I did say, "Well, can I just get a Coke from the machine?" And they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." And they sold me a Coke.
No, that's poo Coke.
Blue Coke.
Poopsie.
They sold me the big cup. It was like 85 cents.
It's ridiculous.
It's a huge soda. You pay for $3 for that somewhere else.
I guess
It's just Sam's.
I mean,
for
it
you.
is like that cost them a penny, so they still have an 85%.
Yeah, an 84%
855% profit margin.
Man.
Or an $8,400 profit. I don't know.
It's wild though. I was asking John and Tyler, you might actually know. Like, are they making money on this pizza? Because like it feels like
maybe.
But then again, Domino's sells you a whole large for
If they do like how
$8.
Costco does it, I mean, every gram of fucking flour is measured out and accounted for.
Sure.
So, I mean, it could be a loss leader, and they're just using it to bring people in like the rotisserie chickens. But
They never don't have people lined up at that snack bar in Sam's. I mean, they
crazy.
sling more pizza out of that little thing than I bet they are on par, if not exceeding, some of the like national chain pizza restaurants around here from the amount of pizza they sell. Because there will be at any given point when they're open, there will be 30 people in line.
It was
because it
was good.
It's good. It's up there. Like, it's probably some of my favorite pizza in the area.
It's definitely better than like Domino's or Pizza Hut. I mean, it's like legitimately, it's legitimate pizza.
They
It really
put
is.
a lot of cheese on it.
It's stupid.
They're generous with toppings. The crust is like a Brooklyn style. It's not thin, but it's not thick. It's the perfect balance of pizza.
I was amazed. I know you guys say it was good, and I felt like I didn't believe you.
Right, but it's
like,
hard to believe.
It's really hard to believe that it was like this good. And maybe it does
this episode
have
brought to you by Sam's Club.
memberships are only $40 a year, I hear.
What?
Tyler, have you gotten your 40-pound bag of sriracha popcorn from your Sam's Club?
TADPOG does have a Sam's Club account. That's what I register a business account on. So we do have.
Fuck, hook me up with that fucking card, man. You've been holding down on me.
Hook a couple of brothers up.
Okay.
Come on.
Because they have an amazing like produce section and an amazing
John gave me
meat
the fucking
section.
tour. I think he might have been on the take because like he had to pick some stuff up. So
Yeah.
he's like, we went. The reason I made that stupid popcorn joke is because we went down an aisle and it was like, I asked him, I was like, do you think that like food manufacturers discovered that like popcorn is that people like it and that it's cheaper than potato chips or something? Like it has to be cheaper than potato
Oh,
chips,
yeah.
right?
I would imagine.
Because it's like there was
You
so
don't
much
have to-
bagged
You see
popcorn there.
heat and air, not like oil.
Right.
You don't have to have big vats.
You have to
and
slice it. There's
big
no labor. You
machines.
just seeds
Pop
in
it, stick it in a bag, ship it out.
I was surprised how much popcorn they had, like the pre-bagged like popcorn stuff, the different
I
flavors.
mean, you really
and all
like that too, don't you? Remember
Yeah.
you said your mom used to pick some up for you somewhere and bring it back to you?
Yeah, she. What I would always get the popcorn balls like at Christmas and stuff that have like that light glaze or whatever
Yeah,
on it. You
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then like all the Christmas popcorn and stuff like that. And I love the white cheddar jams. You know, nothing beats like movie theater popcorn. Like still to this day, like even when I make that style popcorn at home, it's Nikki and Henry are like, this is so much better than movie theater popcorn. And it's like, thank you. But
I think you're lying.
I think that you believe that, but I haven't sold.
know
Like I would
better.
much rather have like movie theater
Yeah.
popcorn. Yeah. Even if it's old, like
Yeah, they do something to
there's
it.
there's some magic.
I
yeah.
can't really do popcorn, but I love it too. And I don't do the butter. I just like the plain,
Yeah.
however it comes out of
Melissa
the
loves the
popper.
butter. I don't.
I used to, man. I used to be all about that, but now it just makes me shit like crazy.
The butter is
Just
pure
lubes up the chute.
Olestra.
Yeah.
That's what they
Anal
did.
leakage.
That's what they did with all the Olestra.
They gave
Just
it to
make it butter flavored and send it to the
Cinemark
movie
will buy it.
theaters.
Cinemark will buy anything.
They've got vats of that shit from the 90s up in the attic.
Movie theaters never die.
You ever feel something dripping down on you, or greasy?
You're at
It's
the Renaissance
Olestra. You're in the syphilis room.
Yeah, you're under the syphilis room. The dungeon.
Gooey syphilis.
Welcome to the donjon. And I saw one other movie that I would recommend. I saw on Grimflix. I saw Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
I watched that as well.
Did you like it?
loved it.
I started to.
I loved it. I think it was really. I love
It's smart.
how hilariously smart it is.
Yeah, it's really smart.
I did not. Again, I went into it not realizing
Same. I know where you're going.
the thing.
Right.
And the thing about it was the best. God, I just love it. I loved that movie.
It was good. It was really
good. And Daniel Radcliffe is going places. I mean, that kid is
and cut.
Huh?
And cut. There's so many scenes where it's like, fuck, Harry Potter's jacked.
God, he is. I know.
He could play like Wolverine Jr.
Yeah, he really could. But I love that he has gotten out of the Harry Potter thing
totally.
and just done so many good things. And this was kind of.
It was great. He was great in it.
He was so good.
Everyone was great in it.
Everybody.
And like the cameos.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good cameos. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm going to. I love Conan O'Brien, and Conan's cameo is great.
I know. I mean, just it's one of those things. You're either gonna love this movie or you're gonna like this movie. You know, it's just impossible to not get a chuckle out of it. It just reminded me of so many similar films from back in the day, like. I really don't want to say what because I don't want to.
Well, I think maybe you can, right, without spoiling anything.
No,
because
I'll say spoil the thing about the movie.
Okay.
And I think if I name other movies that I feel like it was similar to, that people would pick up on that. Just watch the movie. You'll love it.
I'll say. You go ahead, Tyler.
Let me ask you this. So,
Okay.
according to eBay, at the time of this recording, how much do you think a sealed original release copy of UHF by Weird Al Yankovic is going for?
On what format?
Vinyl?
VHS.
Oh, the movie UHF.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
$300.
Sealed.
Sealed. New.
Original. 1994. UHF.
$300.
$700.
$1,100.
Yeah, we've crossed the thousands.
$1,100.
I love it.
So why do you have that information?
Open 1950.
Were you considering getting it?
I saw Jorge made a post about it. So when
okay.
you guys brought up Weird Al, I was like, let's see if that was legit. Oh, it's legit. Okay.
Cool.
Well, that's like that's serendipitous because what I was going to say was like, obviously this makes perfect sense, but it's got UHF vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like it's definitely got some of that same feeling. And it's like, man, this is awesome that it's still like, it's decades later. And it's like, yeah, it's still, this is on brand. This is fucking on brand.
It's a great movie about a genuinely funny and wholesome fellow who did exactly what he wanted to do. And I just cannot state enough how much I have always loved and respected Al Yankovic, just because he really did buck the system and just kind of got out there and said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I want to do. And you'll either think it's funny or you'll think it's stupid, but either way, you're going to know my name. And I love the guy. I'm thrilled about this movie. So yes, definitely.
I thought Rainn Wilson was good in it.
God, Rainn Wilson was Dr. Demento, which I just love.
Yeah.
He was basically Dwight Schrute in a top hat. I mean, that's kind of all of Rainn Wilson's characters for me sometimes.
I haven't seen a lot of stuff that he's been in outside of The Office.
It's tough because he did sort of get a type, but he's literally wearing the same glasses as he wears. And one of the things that I loved, did you catch the Harry Potter references in that movie?
I caught one of them. I didn't realize there were multiple.
There was
I know, like
there was one Harry Potter reference,
the Dementor.
The Dementor, and then there was another one about his Broadway. About Daniel Radcliffe on Broadway.
Oh, no, I didn't catch that one.
It was about whipping out his dick.
Oh, okay.
Because he was naked with a horse.
He did get naked on
Yeah, I
stage
did not
in
know
Broadway.
about this.
Equus, yeah.
Yeah, everybody was talking about his dick because it's uncircumcised because he's British and they don't do that a lot over there.
Yeah.
And so, but they were making the whole joke about him, do you want me to whip it out? You know, that was a Daniel Radcliffe dig just to get at him a little bit more, but he just took it. I love it. I loved it. I'm glad you saw that. I'm glad you saw it and brought it up because I meant to and I didn't have it in my notes. So excellent.
I got Terrifier lined up on Grimflix as well.
Get it.
So
Get it.
I'll hopefully report back on that soon.
What's up with you, Tyler?
I had a business trip over the weekend. I was gone Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to Cincinnati for training. It was a good trip. Got back late last night. Got the show notes posted and figured out what we had to do to publish the show.
One letter. One stupid letter that wasn't capitalized, and I said that it was.
We figured. I'm glad we figured it out because I was tired. I was like, no, what's going on?
Capitalization is important, people. Web URLs are case sensitive.
And then went to work. And then, of course, because I missed Monday and Tuesday, I had a bunch of reports I had to get done. And I guess traveling normally messes up my stomach a little bit. So I was at work and I sneezed so hard I pooped my pants a little bit.
Oh, fun.
So I had to go,
you're playing bingo.
Quickly shuffle off to the bathroom and be like, yep, these are in the garbage. And then I'm going to go back to work and finish my reports.
Great.
So
and
now-
not sneeze anymore. And then Melissa calls, or the daycare calls.
Not sneeze anymore.
Not sneeze anymore. And the daycare called, Jack has something in his nose. So then Melissa came and got him, and then I met her at the ER because we had to get a little neon bead extracted from his nose. Don't know where it came from or anything. So,
So he put it in there in daycare.
well, that's where we found it. Melissa thought maybe she saw it this morning, but she thought it was just a booger. Because, it's green.
Sure.
And
Kids be doing that. They just be walking around with beads up their
Choco
nose. Like,
Chica
this
did
is
the
normal.
exact same thing. Had a bead up her nose that required.
Was it
ER
the same
visit.
bead? Is this like a curse?
It could
Is
have
this a cursed
been.
object?
Y'all need to get rid of the bead.
So if anybody,
Holland bead.
Throw it in the syphilis hole at the Renaissance Fair.
so what they did at the ER, so Melissa did. I pressed down on the part of Jack's nose that didn't have a bead in it, and they held him down, and Melissa blew in his mouth really hard, and poop, out came the bead. So save yourself a trip to the ER if you have a kid and they put a bead up their nose.
Now, if it's an army man, that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this was round. Was it
Yeah.
a round bead?
It was round, yeah.
Okay.
But it was turned like barrel side out, so like we couldn't get anything in the hole to drag it out. So.
Oh, damn.
But as we talked about, we had a lot of good ideas for drafts.
Before we get the draft,
Yeah.
did you have any good food in Cincinnati?
No.
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 Oh,
No.
okay.
Unfortunately. Oh no, I take that back. On the way out, we did have we stopped at a place that was Lao and Thai. I've never had Lao food.
Yeah.
So it was okay.
Okay.
It was okay.
All right.
Thai food's better.
Now, are you Chinese or Japanese? Did you ask anybody there that question?
You tell me. I don't.
It's King of the Hill joke. It's fine. So the people get it. The people who don't, I just explained. I'm not racist.
But it was. It was good because we had their national dish and then their version of chicken noodle soup. Both good, not like holy fuck good, but it was good.
Okay. All right.
So
Cool.
but we had a lot of good ideas sent to us for drafts. But Dave, you had the idea.
Yeah, we hated them. I mean, they were good ideas, but we also hated them at the same time. So we're just going to do what we want to do. I think that's how it boils down, right?
So since we're doing Tom and Jerry, you had the idea of a Hanna-Barbera character draft.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Hanna-Barbera draft.
Are we doing characters or shows?
Because I guess we did the... What do you guys think? What do you want to do?
I was thinking shows.
I was thinking characters just because I think that's, you got a wider pool.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but
Characters is fine.
all right. And I thought also we got to Hanna-Barbera characters via Simpsons characters.
Yeah, we were originally gonna. Yeah, you're right. We were originally gonna pick.
So that's
Simpsons
why-
characters.
that's why
I like
was in
the
a
idea of
character
canceled
mindset.
sitcoms, but that would require a lot more prep work.
Yeah, when you mentioned that, it was like, homie, I couldn't name 5 of those off the top of my head. Like the whole segment would be me being like, Family Matters? Was Family Matters canceled? Does anybody know?
No, it's still on.
All right, so let's roll. Ian 1, Dave 2, me 3. 4, 2.
Dave, you go first.
I go first. Well, gentlemen, I am going to take a big swing and go with the most popular Hanna-Barbera character in history. This is going to get me a lot of points on the Discord server. I'm going number 1, El Kabong. El Kabong.
Is that the burro with the sombrero?
Always thought he was a horse, but yeah, burro makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, he's the burro.
And he hit people with the guitar. And I only say that because Ramon hit me with a guitar once, and ever since then, El Kabong.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't call him that. That would be racist, but I did make the joke.
Does that go to me then?
I guess.
Yes, it goes to you.
I'm going to, out of a cursory glance, more of new Hanna-Barbera, I'm going to say Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls.
All right.
Yes. Powerpuff Girls for the win.
Bubbles is your favorite Powerpuff Girl?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I know where you're going to start with, Ian. I'm not positive.
I will. All right, I'm going to say it.
I also have my suspicions.
But then you can tell me both if you're right, and I'll believe you. Velma.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
got it. I hope we didn't just influence your number 1.
No, I
That was it.
was hoping you weren't going to pick Velma.
Nah, you could look. I like Velma just fine. I don't love Velma like a lot of people love Velma. There's a lot of art.
Yes, there is.
And it's like,
A lot of content.
look, I get it, but it's kind of like X, where it's like, I get it. Not for me, but I get it.
I have a long-standing love for Velma since the 70s. I mean, that show's been around. The show only ran for like 2 seasons, but in its original format. But I've always preferred Velma to Daphne, and dudes in my age range at the time when we would have those little boy discussions about who was hotter, I'm always hitting on Velma,
this.
and dudes are being like, "No, man, it's Daphne." I'm like, "What?" I don't know.
That's too obvious.
Velma's my type, I guess. I don't know. That's why I had the tag Velma Hipster in my name on Discord for a while, because I was into Velma before it was cool.
You're OG.
I'm OG Velma loving.
I was a Daphne boy, and I'll be a Daphne boy until the day I die. Like, I get it.
In the
I get
world
Velma,
wrong with Daphne.
I'm a Daphne guy.
But I have yet to run into an iteration of Velma that I'm
more of a
thought
Fred
was
man.
hot.
I like
the
Diller
legs.
Dough.
Don Knotts.
I'm a scrap-
Fine. It's Don Knotts for me.
I'm a scrappy pappy.
All right, Dave. What's your number 2, my man?
Muttley.
Muttley.
Damn dog.
Going Muttley. Best laugh in the game.
Yep. Muttley was on my list.
I used to be able to do it.
You can still do
Got
it.
a
That's
little
it.
bit.
Then I will snatch up Space Ghost.
Coast to
That's
coast.
a good one. Nice little revival in the late 90s.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Barney from
The
Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Barney's my guy. Love that dude. That Barney Rubble. What an actor.
Man, you guys got back around to me real fast. Why you like Barney so much, Ian?
I just do.
All right, well, I got the.
Because he smokes Winston cigarettes.
But wait, so does Fred.
Oh,
Wilma or Betty? Ian?
Betty.
Same.
yeah.
Okay, we're all in agreement here. We're Betty boys.
Yeah.
Are you Daphne? Daphne or are you Velma, Tyler?
I probably lean more Velma than Daphne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm a Fred man. Give me a good ascot.
I will go with
To get that ascot.
boom. I'll go with Scooby.
Scooby is a good choice.
He is. Who do you honestly think is the most famous Hanna-Barbera character?
Scooby-Doo.
Is it? Do you think it's Scooby, or do you think it's like?
I think it's Fred Flintstone.
Fred,
or Scooby-Doo.
right?
It's got to be Fred Flint.
I think George Jetsen's in the conversation, but probably
know.
Yeah, you have to mention him.
It
But
depends.
yeah, I
think
agree.
it really
he's
depends
not.
on what generation you ask, because probably these days kids would know Scooby before they would know who Fred Flintstone was. But I would have, back in the day when I was a kid, I probably would have thought Fred Flintstone was the more popular, more recognizable character to more people.
Scooby-Doo.
do they have modern movies?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because Flintstones do.
Kind of,
Scooby-Doo
right?
does.
When was the last? Like, there was a kind of recent Scooby-Doo movie, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But like the last Flintstones movie was what?
There was a
Viva
sequel.
Rock Vegas,
Yeah.
which was like
That
is that
was
still
like
90s?
late 90s, early 2000s.
It's still
probably.
90s, but
That was only like 10 years ago, Dave.
Yeah. That's the prequel to Joe Dirt, I think. I still need to watch Joe Dirt. By the
no,
way.
I was thinking about that. I was just thinking about that today, that we need
Yeah.
to watch it and do a Patreon.
Yeah.
I did watch it in preparation for that episode.
Fuck it, let's do
Now
it.
you have
I
to
did
watch it again.
No, I'm good.
I don't know where I was saying. You got me thinking about Joe Dirt.
Scooby-Doo versus Flintstones and their movies. We were talking about
The first movie was awesome.
The Flintstones movie?
Yeah. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
But the second one just fell flat for me.
I never saw the second one.
It was a prequel to when Fred and Wilma met.
Gotcha.
And it didn't
John
have,
Goodman was not in it.
They didn't have
so-
any of the
Oh,
same
yeah,
people.
that's-
None
yeah.
of the same people were in it. Like, nobody that played in the original movie was in
No
the
Halle
second
Berry?
movie. Nope. No Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Can't do it ever. Ever.
Never?
Never.
Man, there are certain, I get it, but there are definitely, sometimes it really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it really works.
After that, I'm going to claim Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory.
All right.
My next pick is Quacker from Tom and Jerry. I love him.
Who is Quacker?
He's
Yeah.
a little duck. He's a little.
Uh-huh.
He talks like that. I can't do his voice.
I don't remember him.
Oh my god!
I believe you, but I don't
He was
remember
the
him.
cutest, little, funniest. He was so like wholesome and nice and pure and helpful, but he could never get in. He was never in any danger, but not on purpose. You know, like he would avoid accidents just naturally.
Like
and stuff.
Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo,
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but he had a voice. I can't do it. I used to be able to do
No,
it.
I think you got it.
But
I totally envision
I
a
always
small
just,
duck.
I always just loved that little dude. So Quacker from Tom and Jerry. He didn't have his own show. He was only probably in a couple of episodes of whatever, but I always liked it when he showed up.
I'll go the opposite of that. Going Grape Ape.
Grape Ape.
Grape Ape.
Ape.
I have good memories of not really watching Grape Ape, but just saying it to my dad and he'd say it back when I was about 5 years old. That was just a thing. Just a thing that we did.
I love it.
So number 4, Grape Ape.
I'm going to go Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo.
All of those were such great shows.
Those were great.
'Cause I remember watching those cartoons way more than I do the older Hanna-Barbera.
You don't remember spending countless hours watching the USA Cartoon Express?
My
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Because boy, I remember being at my grandparents being like, "Fuck, they ain't nothing to do here, but it's Sunday.
Thank God
Cartoon
characters are well
Cartoon
gone.
Express is on."
God, I loved it. I loved it.
I kind of I did and I didn't. It was like one of those things where it's like I liked it that it was there for me. I was bored and it was there for me. But at the same time, it was like, man, I wish there was something else on that I could watch.
Not me.
Yeah.
I watched Cartoon Express every afternoon for as long as it was on. Like I watched Space Ghost and the Herculoids and Thundar the Barbarian, and all those shows were just and I would just sit in the living room and watch them and play with my Legos. And especially if it was raining outside, I was in heaven. It was just I have vivid memories of that particular scenario that just I go to that place when I need some place to go to be peaceful.
It didn't click with me until you said raining outside. There is nothing better in life than doing an inside activity when it's raining outside.
While cartoons are on. That's always got to be a thing for me.
I could take or leave that part, but I do love it, like especially like on a Saturday morning when I wake up and it's raining.
Yeah.
And it's like
Mom can't make you go outside and play.
Yeah. Well, I mean modern day, but yeah, definitely then too. But even modern day where it's like I can't do anything outside even if someone else wanted me to.
That happened to me last week. I was going to rake my yard.
Yeah. Yeah, I was too. And then it rained.
Now I've got to do it this Saturday, and there's way more leaves.
No, they're my neighbor's problem now. All those fuckers blew away.
It's my turn already?
I think so.
Bitty speed buggy, baby. I love my speed buggy.
Speed buggy.
Old school.
That is old school.
Always wanted a dune buggy when I was a kid, and it was because of speed buggy. But
should get one now.
But then I found out they don't actually talk.
We could probably fix that.
I like talking cars. Kit.
We just have to have someone die in it, like My Mother the Car or whatever from the 50s. Yeah.
We could hook that up. We're podcasters. We have resources. We could surely find someone to die in a dune buggy for us. It's to me.
It is.
I'm surprised that I get to grab the Great Gazoo. I'm grabbing the Great Gazoo.
Yep. That genocidal maniac.
You bet. Yep, you bet. Calling people dumb. Appearing in a show and being like, oh, this is going to be a good one. Fuck yes. Anytime that motherfucker would show up, it's like, yes, it's going to be a good one. Unlike the opposite of Scrappy Doo, where every time he'd show up and it's like, fuck. It's a Scrappy Doo episode?
Yeah. Ugh.
Can't we just have the Harlem Globetrotters one more time?
I'm gonna
Phyllis Diller.
For my last one, I'm going to pick one of my favorite creepy villains by going back to the Powerpuff Girls and saying him.
Ah, yeah, him is great. Not Mojo Jojo.
I like Mojo Jojo, but I'm gonna have to go. Him was a little scary for a cartoon. It was a little something to it. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Good choices, and I like your theming, Tyler.
Very cartoon.
Yeah.
I love it was. I'm gonna round out the list much the same way I started it. Shaggy. Shaggy's my guy on Scooby. I always liked the dude. So that's
Shaggy's great.
It's my final pick. Hate him in multiverses because he's too easy to win with for other people.
I just wait till they add Scooby.
Any honorable mentions?
Me neither.
Oh man,
this is the part where I go, are the Snorks Hanna-Barbera?
Yep.
And I do stuff like that.
I'd say the Smurfs. What was the one? What was the slow one that talked like a hick?
Hickey Smurf?
Redneck Smurf?
They kind of had a theme going, right?
Rednecky Smurf?
Strokey Smurf?
That was a different one. That was Brady Smurf. But
you're thinking of Smurfette. It's pronounced Smurfette. Gargamel.
I like
Azrael.
The cat was
my parents didn't want me to
was the
watch the Smurfs as a kid because I kept saying I hate stuff like Gargamel would.
Yeah.
So they stopped letting me watch it.
And Tadpog Sweetheart Josh couldn't watch it either, right? Because of the witchcraft?
Maybe, yeah.
At least that's the story I always heard.
I think so. I think you're right.
I think Gummy Bears was a Hanna-Barbera joint.
I think that was Disney.
Was it Disney?
I'm almost positive
it was. It was on Disney Afternoon.
Oh, that's right. What about Care Bears? I was some bear thing I thought was Hanna-Barbera, but I could be wrong about that.
I don't know.
Yogi Bear?
Yeah. Wow.
Cannot believe I forgot
Not a
about
single Yogi Bear.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't care for Yogi, but I did like
Boo Boo.
Boo.
Yeah, Boo Boo's.
Boo Boo had his head on straight. Yogi
And had a better
Yogi
voice.
was a buffoon.
I like this. I like the serious boo boo.
like the interview, 20 years later.
Grizzled boo boo.
How did you like working with Yogi? Yogi was a buffoon. I told you I was not going to talk about Yogi today.
You know, Yogi fucked Boo Boo's wife.
Repeatedly.
Bad blood.
And then ate his picnic baskets. Boo Boo had his own shit.
Nickname for his wife.
That's what I'm saying.
I've got some redheads that I always liked. One, I remember a pup named Scooby Doo,
Yeah.
but they had a character. I thought it was really clever back then, named Red Herring. So the red football playing character
Right.
who they always
'Cause Fred-
thought was the guy who did it.
Fred would
so
always-
he was the red
Fred
Okay.
blamed Red Herring every time.
but it was never
It was
him.
the first answer he gave. And I
Never,
think
not even the last episode.
No, it was the
Never throw Fred a bone.
at the end. Yeah, he murdered him.
he murdered Fred.
Why was Fred part of the team? Is it his van? Is that like the canon?
Probably.
That makes sense. Wheeler from Captain Planet had the
Okay.
fire
Okay.
ring. I liked Wheeler.
Okay.
Ed Grimley, remember the
Yes. I must say.
the animated Ed Grimley for some
I
reason?
do remember that. Martin Short had a good run with Ed Grimley. He had a good run with Ed Grimley.
A
That was
run.
good character.
Long run.
For me, it was good.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I don't know, man. It was good until I learned he was an animated version.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. Did Martin Short was he involved in this, or is this just Hanna-Barbera?
I don't know.
Fucking get the Ed Grimley rights.
I remember I saw the cartoon before I knew he was like an SNL character.
I love that.
Oh man, what Zorak too for Space Ghost
God,
and
Zorak,
Brack. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So I
Moltar.
had Muttley. Yep.
I thought you were going to go, when you were talking redheads, I thought you were going to go with Jane, his wife. Jane Jetson.
Oh yeah.
That's the wife, right?
Yep. You're right. Judy
Judy's
was the daughter.
Yeah. Who was older than her mother. You can tell because her hair's
The
white.
white hair. So what?
That did trip me up as a kid for at least one episode where it's like, is her daughter? Is this a time travel thing? Because it's the
Oh,
future.
it's the future. Okay.
Right.
Martin Short did voice Ed Grimley in the
wow.
show. It's an American animated television series produced by Hanna-Barbera and featuring Martin Short's fictional character Ed Grimley, with Short reprising his role. The show aired on NBC from September 10th to
September 12th.
December 3rd, 1988, for a single season of 13 episodes. The show is the only Saturday morning animated adaptation of both an SCTV character and a Saturday Night Live character. In the first Saturday morning cartoon featuring an SCTV cast member, later joined by Camp Candy.
I was about to say, when you said SCTV, I was about to say, do you guys remember Camp Candy?
Yeah.
That was a thing.
And Rick Moranis' Gravedale High.
I didn't even know about that.
But it was the Count Floyd was in the character of Count Floyd was in the Ed Grimley. The show was called The Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley, and I remember it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Because I did know about Ed
Sure.
Grimley, and I loved the cartoon. I thought it was awesome. I was so disappointed when they took it off. I was like, I want more.
That's how I felt about Crash Test Dummies.
There you go.
All right.
There we go. There are a lot of Hanna-Barbera characters to choose from.
There was a
Holy
lot. The
shit.
list is by no means comprehensive because
Was the animated Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Hanna-Barbera?
I don't know who
don't
did that.
know.
I've never seen the movie, but I remember seeing an episode of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes when I was
I
like in
loved that.
second
Yeah,
grade.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or was Turbo Teen Hanna-Barbera?
No
Turbo
idea.
Teen was. It might have been Hanna-Barbera, actually.
Because I have no idea what it was.
I always remember the transformation of him into the car and how weird his face looked whenever it was changing into the grill and the lights. It was like Paducah.
I wanted to say the devil from Now Hear This, but that's Warner Brothers. Now Hear This being the one where the guy picks up the hearing
Oh,
corn
yeah.
and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
fucked up shit starts to happen.
Yeah.
What is Turbo Teen?
That's got to be a Hanna-Barbera thing.
I still don't know. Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Damn.
Ruby Spears production.
Multiverses.
Warner Brothers.
Here comes
Versus
Turbo Teen.
Part of the Cartoon Express on USA Networks. USA Cartoon Express.
Damn.
Cartoon
Man, I thought Cartoon Express was like just Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I think they just picked up whatever they could and Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, those Hanna-Barbera.
They're a
Those
dime a
had to
dozen.
have been pretty cheap, right?
Dime a
I mean,
dozen.
No, we still didn't pick up Tom or Jerry.
Yeah, I felt like that would be too.
Well, there was
they're
a
not my
very
favorite
short.
anyway.
They had a very short stint as a Hanna-Barbera property, though, because it was originally MGM. So it's arguable that you have to pick that version of them, which was awful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, kind of, sort of, right? Because it's like one of those where it's like, I'm with you. Because when I was doing research on Tom and Jerry, and this should have dawned on me because of multiverses.
Yeah.
But when I started doing research, I was like, Tom and Jerry are Hanna-Barbera characters?
nope, not
And they kind of
technically.
are.
They are from one. Tom and Jerry. We'll get to this.
Right.
Tom and Jerry ran the gambit of studio ownership. It's like the only studio that never had the rights to Tom and Jerry was Disney, and for good reason, which we will also get into, I'm sure. But time keeps on ticking into the future.
Yeah.
So let's break. Have
Yeah.
a real short break. We'll
Yep.
come right back and talk about Tom and Jerry. You
Hell
good with this?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we're back.
We're back.
Time to talk about T and J.
Little T and J for you. Everybody likes a little T and J.
Is that the jaw thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man,
Jaw pain always just hits the right spot.
this has nothing to do with T and J, T and the next generation TNG. I had to get have you guys ever had a TB skin test?
Every year.
Yeah, I figured that you probably did. Yeah,
I've
you
had
too?
one. Tanya has to get them fairly regularly because she had a grandmother who had it.
I see. Yeah, I should probably peel this Band-Aid off and see if I've had any reaction. But yeah, I don't like it. It's not a fun test to take. It's not a pee in a cup test. It's we're gonna make a. Excuse me, you're gonna make a bubble in my skin. Did I hear you say that correctly? Okay, cool.
Come back in a few days, and if you don't, we'll have to do it all over again. Yeah.
So anyway, Tom and Jerry. Sorry.
Tom and Jerry. So box art. What'd you guys think of the Tom and Jerry SNES game box art?
Not a lot to it.
It definitely looks like Tom and Jerry.
They
Featured
both
Tom and
look
Jerry.
way too happy though. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're both happily running and happily chasing with like weird, huge smiles on their faces.
It's from that era of Tom and Jerry where they were friends.
When they were friends.
They weren't allowed to be violent because there were cartoon standards in the 70s. So they had to be friends.
I remember seeing a TikTok about like the one where Tom was trying to get with the fancy white cat. And like, so he was like, he went through his life savings trying to buy her all this stuff. And then another richer cat kept buying her better stuff. And he kept like
riffraff.
taking out mortgages. Yeah. And
Is
Jerry was
Heathcliff
trying to stop
Hanna-Barbera?
him. What the fuck is Heathcliff?
What the fuck is Heathcliff? Find out on this episode.
Heathcliff, I think maybe was Hanna-Barbera. I don't know, though.
Man, if we get Heathcliff in multiverses, I'm back. He has all these fishbone attacks and trash can attacks.
Jesus. The fishbone attack alone would be worth the price of admission.
It's Ruby Spears.
Oh, yeah.
And Ruby Spears worked. Yeah, I don't really see. Distributor LBS Communications.
There were a few.
Maybe it was it like
Ruby
Deke?
Spear.
They put out a few cartoons that I remember watching.
Deke Audio. Yeah, season 1 was Deke. Season 2 was Deke. Yeah, Deke Asia.
Or as we like to call it in school, Dick.
Yep.
You know who made Inspector Gadget?
Mel Blanc
Dick.
was in it.
Dick. that little kid. Dick. It's like,
The sun's coming up.
All right,
It's-
young lady, just step up to the mic. I want you to say one thing for me, okay? We're going to record you. Okay, read what's on the card. Dick. Good.
The sun was coming up at the end of that, right?
Yep.
Like that is
Yeah.
absolutely euphemism for Morningwood, right?
Yeah, they had a few different iterations of that logo, but it never changed from the dick. Like, wow.
All right. So in America, Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats.
Yeah, the Cadillac.
In France, Les Intrachats. Heathcliff Cats and Company in the UK. Heathcliff und Riffraff in Germany.
Hey, they know what's up. Riff Raff.
Heathcliff und Riffraff.
Yeah, Riff Raff
Marked
had
Fry.
he had that fine white lady cat, didn't he? Riff
Yeah, he
Raff?
did.
Yeah,
He did.
Little fluffy girl.
My favorite Tom bit, and they show it all the time, like on TikTok and stuff, but when he's
But you guys are on that Tom and Jerry TikTok.
he's trying, well, they just come up. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it's listening to me, but it's another one where he's trying to impress the girl and he's dressed like a cowboy.
Yes,
And he
that's
rolls,
famous.
He rolls
Yeah,
the
with his
cigarette
tongue.
with his tongue
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then blows howdy and smoke.
Uh-huh.
God. Shit like that. I mean,
It's famous.
old
iconic.
animation, these old guy animators that just fucking brought it every time. I picture my grandfather who literally wore a pocket protector every day of his life and looked like a dude from NASA. I think I've mentioned that, from the 50s. These guys were bringing some of the funniest shit. And I look at that and I think, what happened to your generation? Because there's so many funny old people doing just this hilarious shit. Some of the best shit ever was Tom and Jerry, or old school violent Tom and Jerry. And the Chuck Jones era of Tom and Jerry was my fucking jam. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, Chuck Jones, Tom and Jerry is really good.
But it's hard to go wrong with Chuck Jones
Sure,
anyway.
absolutely.
My favorite Chuck Jones thing ever was the haunted house episode with Sylvester and Porky, when he's staying in the haunted house and
I don't think I've seen it.
Sylvester is Porky's cat, and they're traveling for business, and they stay in this hotel, and it's haunted, but Sylvester can see
Is that the
ghost.
premise of Haunted Holiday that we played?
Yes, it's what that's based on.
Okay.
Okay. Is Sylvester in that game?
Because I feel like he leads you around, or
Okay.
he's in it.
It's been a long time
Yeah.
since we played that horrible game. I'm not going to revisit.
The whole Porky's fine. He's just sleeping. But there's mice. There's ghosts in the house, but they're really mice fucking with him.
Okay.
And he is just shaking and scared and just fucking freaking out at everything. And he keeps jumping into bed and waking up Porky. And Porky
He doesn't
just
talk the whole time, right?
No, he does not say a
he's
word.
A cat.
He's a cat. He doesn't say a word. And I've always said that the Looney Tunes thing just felt like such an ensemble show where they had these characters playing different roles.
Right,
In this
sure.
case, Sylvester was playing a fucking house cat that just kept waking up Porky, and Porky just kept getting madder and madder and madder at him. That was a Chuck Jones cartoon that I would watch that every day of my life and probably still chuckle at it, you know.
Chuckle Jones at it.
Chuckle Jones. But that whole thing with Tom and Jerry and the Chuck Jones era was where it was at for me. But I did really very much enjoy the old school stuff. And Tom and Jerry's very near and dear to me. They've been around 80 years. 80.
Like 82, I think.
That's insane.
Right? Because it was like 1940, I think, was their first.
And my grandmother is only like 10 or 12 years older than Tom and Jerry, which is nuts. But they've always been a huge favorite of mine. I really wish I hadn't played this game.
Oh. I see.
Didn't care for it.
No. I get it. I like Tom and Jerry quite a bit, but it's also one of those things where it's like, I think I never like sat down to watch Tom and Jerry, you know. Tom and Jerry was always kind of one of those things where it was like maybe like part of a compilation
It's on.
or something.
Yeah.
And it's on. And
Yeah, that was for me too.
And I wouldn't say that I always enjoyed it, but because I really like the 70s stuff is horrible.
No.
It's really bad. But like the early stuff, like I love the
Where
look.
he looks like a cat and not like has human hands.
I like somewhere in between that.
Yeah.
You know, I really like when it is Jasper and Jinx, and it's like I like how that looks and how it's animated, but I do like it when Tom's a little more anthropomorphic than he is
I
there.
agree.
But Henry and I were watching the video, you know, like the history of Tom and Jerry, and I was like, I like it the best, like, because he goes from a point where like they draw the fur on Tom to where he's just smooth, like it's just like there's no fur, he's just smooth, blobby, and like that's where I don't like it.
Yeah, when he was Jasper, he was like a dirty house cat
Right.
with fucking messed up fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like it when he has the gray in between his eyes too. And I like it when he's more gray as opposed to like a deep blue.
Yeah.
And then, but I also like the Chuck Jones eyebrows.
God, I love the Chuck Jones
So expressive.
eyebrows.
Like,
It
I
really
mean, all of
is.
his characters, like whenever he animates something, like the characters are super expressive.
Yeah.
And it's always really funny. Like it's a lot of times that's like the crux
It
of
really
like a
is.
gag is like the face that they're making. And that's like, it's a treat because I feel like a lot of the cartoons, like a lot of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons that like we just mentioned, where it's like, you don't get that. You know what I mean?
You
Like
really don't.
I've never seen Daphne like or Velma make a face where I'm like laughing.
Right, right.
Where it's like, okay, their expression, okay, all right, they're expressing sadness. I got it.
Or their tits are quivering in worry. Okay.
Right.
Jones was a fucking genius, and he
Sure.
had this just way about him of expressing. You're absolutely right. They could emote. They could have these expressions that you knew what they were feeling, and it just added that much more depth to the piece. And yeah,
Perfect violence level too. I feel
It really
like
is. It really is.
perfect violence level for Tom and Jerry's when he was doing it.
Yep, agreed. It wasn't too over the top,
But it was
but it was enough over the top.
it was pretty there.
to
Yeah,
laugh.
for
I mean,
sure.
you know, this for the same reason you laugh at Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
was comedic violence. It was okay to laugh at it because it was just either really silly and over the top
Sure.
or subtle and funny. So yeah,
Big fan.
Big fan.
Do you guys prefer one character over the other? Tom to Jerry? Do you
They're a pair. I can't.
They go back and forth, yeah.
I see him as one. They're one. They're the Boba Fett and Han Solo. I feel like one can't exist without the other. Right? They just sort of fulfill each other's purpose.
Joker and Batman.
Yes.
If I had to pick, Tom would be my guy.
Yeah, same. I always wanted Tom to win.
Rooted for the guy
Yeah.
hard. Just wanted it to happen.
Just like with Wile E. Coyote.
Exactly. You always just once. Just let him get him once.
Yeah.
But
then
That one
then it's
episode of
over.
Itchy and Scratchy where Scratchy catches Itchy, but they're never going to show it again.
Right.
which is fucked up. You know, Itchy and Scratchy, based on Tom and Jerry.
Totally.
A very influential thing here, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't really give it a whole lot of thought until you really dig in and like, holy shit,
Dude.
they have been around forever. They have been a huge influential fact. They've changed so much, and
Even the fucking theme song.
yeah,
Like, I mean, like,
Bum, 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 bum. I love it.
even like that song popped in my head before I started playing the game, and I was like, is that the Tom and Jerry? Because I haven't
Yes, I
seen a
know,
Tom and
right?
Jerry cartoon in like
But it
a
gets in
long
there. And
time.
I have had that song in my head since last week
Yeah.
when we decided to do this because it's iconic.
Yeah.
They really
It's wild.
And the way that it came about, you know, this was sort of ultimately the answer to Mickey Mouse because
Sure.
the guy that created Tom and Jerry was part of the duo with Walt Disney that created Mickey Mouse.
No, I don't.
And he got
I don't
shit
think
on,
so.
so right, he left.
No, I don't think so. Right? It was Hannah and Barbera, wasn't it? Because
No, I was thinking he was with Disney but Walt Disney kept messing with him and making him work his butt off, and he's like, I'm
He got
going
no
on
credit.
my own, and he went to MGM.
well, see, I thought that was the creation of MGM, and then Hannah and Barbera were brought in to work on separate projects, and then they finally like teamed up together and made Tom and Jerry.
Admittedly, I had that going while I was working, and I may have misconstrued what they were saying. So you're probably
I'm not 100%
Right.
sure.
You're probably right.
But that's how I took it.
okay. I'll clarify and follow up next week. But
which is why I think it's interesting that like they did jump from studio to studio, and it's like that's another reason I've never really considered Tom and Jerry to be Hanna-Barbera. They're
like
more
Dr. Pepper.
MGM.
They're their own thing.
Yeah, yeah, and MGM shuts down their studio, and all of a sudden, like
it's the Wild West.
Sure.
I mean, people are picking up their licenses and stuff, and then it goes to Hanna-Barbera, and then it stayed with them for a while in some form or fashion, and it ended up at Warner Brothers ultimately. So.
like most things that don't end up at Disney do.
Yep. Warner Brothers, where animation goes to be awesome.
Is that their motto?
Should be. They can have it for $1 million.
There you go.
Well, if you were to compare your experiences with this game to a movie, what movie would you or celebrity?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Tyler. I just wasn't feeling super creative this week. I did come up with some stuff, but I don't know how good it's
Oh, but the creators
play.
of this game weren't either, so it's fine.
Correct. That is correct.
Boy.
Yeah.
The creators of this game. Wow. I gotta tell you this. This is like deeply personal to me. Seriously. This is not a bit. This is not a joke. This game was developed by Riedel Software Productions, RSP. When I grew up as a DOS kid.
Yeah.
And so like
me
when
too.
I was looking at like but I don't know. I think you were playing good DOS games. I was playing RSP DOS games because like when I was looking,
this was the games like your dad would bring home for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Like here, I got a yellow floppy disk, or actually they weren't. It was like I got a black flop, a big one.
Yeah,
it's a big one,
5
with a big hole
inch
in it.
floppy.
Yeah. And I never knew it.
Like a square record.
Yeah, and like me being like 6 years old, I don't know how fractions work, so I'm always confused by like when the even to this day, I'm like one's a big one, the other's a small one.
5 1/4, 5 1/2, 3 1/4.
Because I'd always be like 5 and
5 1/4, 3 1/2.
I don't know.
I think it's 5 1/4, 3 1/2. Now I'm confused. Anyway,
See, now you're living in my brain space.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
They developed some games that like when I was going through the list of what they developed, it was like, holy shit, for real. Do you guys remember Ernie's Magic Shapes? You probably don't. Tyler, I know you probably don't, because this game was like
Sesame Street Ernie?
Sesame Street Ernie.
Okay.
Yeah, they did Sesame Street games. They did a Big Bird game too. But Ernie's Magic Shapes, when I saw the box art for this, I mean, it was like, it opened a fucking time portal. And it was like, holy shit, man.
The Lost style, like
Yeah.
flash sideways.
Yeah, it totally is, where it's like, oh, wow, I was like, not old enough for this to like form as a memory, but seeing this is like, holy fucking God. And then the one, they also did Chippendale Rescue Rangers, DOS, which I played the fucking shit out of as a kid because I didn't have an NES. I hear this Chippendale Rescue Rangers game is pretty good. I got a DOS computer, so I guess we're going to play. I never even really knew it had a subtitle. The Adventures in Nimnol's Castle.
Oh.
Nimnols?
Yeah,
Nimnol.
he was the scientist guy with the big, like the big Coke bottle glasses.
Okay, yeah, bald guy with the side hair. Okay.
Where it's like 3 stages of like Chip and Dale, like going through like World War I trenches as he throws acid on them from his castle top. They did Beethoven's Second for the Super Nintendo. Couple things we had to look forward to. The Hunter.
That's widely considered probably like a bottom 10 game.
Just based on the license.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's based on the sequel to Beethoven.
Right.
I played a minute of it on the emulator,
Yes.
and it was just like, he has a sonic bark.
Okay.
And
Sonic
water.
Bark.
Yes.
He's like, is it an Echo the Dolphin game that takes place in a house?
So, it controls about that well. I remember it being like, yeah, okay,
He's Guile's
get
dog.
to it.
Yeah. He's Guile's dog. Man, I would watch the shit out of an anime where Guile owns Beethoven.
Guile and his loyal.
And they live in the real world, though.
Nothing really happens. Kind of like in Beethoven, I think.
Oh, my God. I RSP also developed The Hunt for Red October, which we haven't played yet. For the
Super
Super
Scope
Nintendo.
compatible, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in 1996, they made Postal. Postal, the game where you go postal and set marching bands on fire.
Wow.
That Postal. And they...
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
Oh, boy, man. I remember when Postal came out. I was a freshman in high school, so that one hit at the right time. That one was like, hey, man, have you heard of Postal? Let's download it from free off of IRC. And then, yes. And then, like, it's just wild to me that the shift, because they changed their name, or they didn't really change their name. They made another studio. The same creators made another studio running with scissors. And Postal was like pretty famous. Like Lieberman like got onto that, and like that one was like this is indecent. Like that, this was one of these. And I mean, looking back at it, like it was different than Mortal Kombat. I mean, it was like, this was like, we are doing this specifically to like agitate people. Where Mortal Kombat, I guess,
Mortal Kombat
That's
could be
what an
considered...
extra dimensional fighting tournament would look like.
Right.
to be fair,
This one, you're setting marching bands on fire.
Yeah.
You're killing
Yeah.
actual people in real situations.
yeah, this one, yeah, definitely, right. And it's so this one had big
It's like
fuck you
the
energy
Grand Theft-
to it,
the
where
Grand
Mortal
Theft-
Kombat didn't have.
The Grand Theft Auto of its day.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
so that's definitely the energy they were going for. That fucking blew my mind. In this game, Tom and Jerry was also
So violent.
Tom and Jerry. Yes,
Tom and
super
Jerry
violent.
led to Postal.
right. Postal was so bad that the developers got a real letter from the Postmaster General. That's not a joke. They definitely did.
Not our fault.
And the game was published by High Tech Expressions in 1993. This fucking logo, I swear, High Tech like published all of these Riedel software games. It's that pixelized heart with like it's like disintegrating or something.
It looks like a spray that Diva from Overwatch would have, like a
It does.
graffiti spray. I think there actually is one like that.
Damn, all right.
Look.
I saw the logo and it definitely it tugged on the heartstrings, because it was like one of those where it's like, man, I haven't seen this logo in so long, and I used to see it every day.
Yeah,
when I'd
yeah.
fire up Chippendale.
Nice. So,
Movie
movie.
or celebrity.
Batman.
Which Batman?
Take your pick, because much like Batman, Tom and Jerry have been reimagined and recycled dozens of times over the years, and everyone has their favorite for different reasons, and lots of crappy Batman video games were made. Much like with Tom and Jerry, there's kind of had some crappy video games, and this was one of them.
Is there a good one?
I don't know. I mean, I looked kind of through and didn't see a whole lot of good reviews.
I mean,
on
I can't
most of the
imagine,
games.
right? I mean,
How do you do it right? I don't know. Throw them in multiverses.
Multiverses is
and
probably the
that's
best
about
Tom
the
and Jerry
best thing
game,
to
yeah.
do. I felt like this game was just kind of a forgettable side note in the history of Tom and Jerry, right? And I don't know. I just kind of put it up with Batman because there's just been so many different ways that Batman has been visualized and put in video games.
Sure.
Some have been good, some have not.
most have not.
Most have not.
I mean, I know people love that NES game, but
Yeah.
like when Arkham Asylum
Arkham
came out,
games
that
were
was a
fucking
huge
crazy.
deal, because it was like, holy shit, this is a really good Batman game.
Yeah,
like,
that whole series was great, and that sort of legacy. They're not afraid. They've gotten to the point now they're not afraid to kill off Batman. You know, Gotham Knights just came out, which is like Robin, Red Hood, Batgirl, and Nightwing all take over because Batman dies, and they take over for him, fighting crime in Gotham. And it's a new Warner Brothers game that came out recently.
Does
It's an
Azrael
open
have a
world.
name in that? Is he a different version of
Who?
what Azrael? He's the priest who takes over for Batman when Bane breaks his back.
Oh, see, I don't know that that's canon in this
Okay.
particular universe. I don't know, though. I kind of want to buy the game, but I don't want to pay full price for it because I've heard it's not.
It's not great, and
Great.
the FPS are locked at 30
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah, it is. And then they did just open there. You could play co-op you can only play with 2 people, you and one other person, but they apparently are releasing 4-player co-op like now. So I'm waiting for the price on that one to go down and play it. But anyway, that's just kind of where I went with that, because I feel like Batman and Tom and Jerry and probably other franchises have gotten sort of the same treatment over the years, whether it be in video games or movies, and that's just what made me think of.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Dave, how about you?
I went with a movie I've never seen before. Abbott and Costello, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Nice.
And I went with Abbott and Costello because classic
It
duo
fits.
from
It
the time
fits.
period.
Yeah.
And also Jack and the Beanstalk because of like all the like Tom and Jerry fairy tale stuff that they did, like the Robin Hood, Tom and Jerry Robin Hood, all of that, like when they started exploring that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I have to steal yours, Dave, and say The English Patient.
Oh, okay.
Just like playing it, just like fucking die. I'm a mouse just jumping on cockroaches. What is this?
Yeah.
What
Not
about
Joe's Apartment?
Oh, shit. That's a better one. Damn it. Yeah, Joe's Apartment.
Better than mine.
Yeah. It is your. We'll share it.
That's fine. Yeah. It's good.
What about a Nick Cage movie?
I picked The Croods, which is an animated movie about cavemen that Nick Cage did a voice in.
I didn't know he voiced the character.
I didn't know he was either.
Apparently there was a lackluster and not that entertaining game. Like it
Oh.
was called Prehistoric Party for the Wii and
Oh.
Wii U, and
We
it was
should
like
do
it was
an
like
episode on it.
It was like a Mario Party style game with
Sure.
lots of different mini games.
With the Croods.
God.
Come on, Tyler. You love Mario Party. You love the Croods.
love the Croods.
Can't fucking shut up about the Croods.
Crude or Crulin is what we should call you. I love the Crude so much.
Yeah, so definitely.
Got that tramp stamp.
every time you call me, the fucking Croods theme song goes off on my phone. Which of course,
Cave Manny was a Crude. Not many people know that.
I didn't even know they made as many Croods T-shirts as you wear. And the
I
bumper
bought them all. They're
stickers,
rare now.
the fucking bumper stickers. What is your deal?
this guy loves the Croods. Send Croods.
I never watched the movies, and apparently the game was very lackluster, and I just felt like, yeah, this is kind of a lackluster game, and Nick Cage was in the Croods, so that was my parallel.
All right.
There.
When you said it like that, Nick Cage was in the Croods. It sounds like it was like a motorcycle gang.
It does.
like a greaser gang. You know, like not a modern motorcycle gang.
No.
Like him and the
Kind of,
Fonz.
snap. They snap when they're going
West
like in
Side
the
Story.
Warriors and shit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I went with Forgive Me. I went with Raising Arizona. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why. I have a great reason why I went with Raising Arizona. Because Regal Software was based in Tucson, Arizona when they made this game.
Good enough.
Okay. Well, I went with Face Off, since John Travolta and Nicolas Cage are basically Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
I like that. That's good.
I love when Tom says to Jerry, I could eat a peach for hours.
Well, can we say three good things about this game?
Sure.
I guess we should talk about the game. The game is what you would expect: a side-scrolling
Yeah, it's a platformer.
action platformer.
Yeah.
You have projectiles. You're just Jerry.
Yeah.
You've just wanted to go see the Tom and Jerry movie, and now you're making it back home.
Is that what's going on
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
films?
You're
the film
leaving.
stuff?
You're leaving the theater and getting home, and Tom is.
I guess doesn't want you to come home.
That stuff was confusing.
You're divorced.
Yeah,
Like all of the film, like there's just Tom with film.
Yeah,
Everything's
it was really weird. Like,
Acme Animation Factory looking, where
Yeah.
it's like the
Oh,
levels are
God,
like
100%.
broken down into like film cells, and I couldn't understand that. I assume it's because that's the tie-in to the movie.
Because
that
it was
came
supposed
out.
to be. I thought it was like a reference to the old Tom and Jerry movies.
Oh, like the shorts that
but
yeah.
but apparently, according to the instruction manual, like the movie just came out and Jerry went to see
okay,
it.
so that was the case.
Yeah.
And that movie I never saw, but I heard is horrible. It's a musical.
Yeah. I got an idea. We were just talking about how would you do the perfect Tom and Jerry game? Cuphead style.
Okay.
There is that Cuphead. There's that boss that's very Tom and Jerry.
It is.
Yes.
Well, and you know that, but instead of staying in that particular time period, as you progress through the game and fight different it has to be a boss rush.
The animation changes.
The animation changes as you go from era to era.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Come on, Warner Brothers.
I like
step
that.
up.
We'll develop it. Fuck it. Couldn't do worse.
I'll knock it out real quick on
Yeah.
my Mac here.
Couldn't do worse than what we're playing for this episode, right?
Right. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
probably
know.
would.
I
Probably
can't
would be
develop
worse.
this game either.
Sure we can. Sure, we have the technology. It's 30 years later.
This has a 2-player mode, which is good.
That
I
is
guess.
neat.
You play as Tuffy.
Tuffy,
The little Jerry's little cousin.
little diaper wearing
Little
cousin,
diaper,
right?
little gray diaper mouse.
Yeah, the gray diaper mouse.
But you don't play
Steam name.
concurrently.
Steam name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive dad shits forever. Sorry. It's gonna take a really good one to knock that one out.
You don't play concurrently. You take turns. If you play 2-player, you're taking turns, which
You might as well.
you might as well
not.
just not. Yeah. Play it, then hand the controller over when you die.
Right, exactly.
If you die,
Sure.
or when you finish the game.
Sure. Like Americans do. None of this. None of this. Yeah.
I did kind of have that as one of my good things. I also put in, I think this would have been a good baby's first platformer, right? I think
Fuck,
if
man, I don't
Its
know.
Cohen-
simplicity could be a good thing.
if Cohen
I
were
have
like
that down.
even now at 6, if he sat down and played it, he would have a chance at doing well.
Yeah.
And that to me, if you put it in the right age range, it's just right. It's
guess.
just hard enough to be challenging, but I think it would make a kid feel like he's potentially a young kid feel like he's accomplished something.
I'm not disagreeing with what you just said. However,
But
just give them Mario Brothers.
true.
You know what I mean? Like I remember being 6 years old and playing Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it
I
was
can understand that.
fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like
because it's not terribly hard.
no.
It gets difficult, but it's not insurmountable.
I think Tom and Jerry is real simple in the beginning, and then I do feel like it reaches a point where, like, there are 2 levels in the game. Like the very last world, there are 4 worlds in the game, and the last world in the game is in a house. Like,
It's when he gets back home to his house. Yeah.
and it's awful because it's like
God.
you have to like do these jumps that are just like, there were several times in the game where I'm like, is this jump possible? Am I doing the jump the wrong way? Am I supposed to jump on the spring, or am I supposed to try to do like this long jump?
It's pointy, and it's like the couch cushion springs
Right.
sticking up. They're pointy.
Well, and yeah.
you like naturally want to avoid them, but you have to use them to get up to the higher levels.
And then there's that whole like that first level in the house world. And it's fun, you know. It's like you're a small
kitchen.
character in a big house. Yeah, the kitchen. The kitchen is just like there's fucking fire raining from the sky, and it's like none of it feels fair.
Yeah.
Like the first level, the first world in the game feels really fair, and it feels like a really simplistic platformer.
Absolutely.
And then you go from
They crank it up.
the streets to
Yeah.
like this construction site, and it still plays simply, but the problem is like beams just fall out from underneath you, and there's no indicator
I
of
thought
which
it was a weird
beams.
junkyard, and it was just it was the weird.
No, you're right. You're right. It is
background
a
was
junkyard. You're
yeah.
right. It is a junkyard, but you're on these like Donkey Kong style like
It's
construction
really-
beams
yeah.
and stuff, and it's like the second level in that world is like there's no indicator that the level is going to fall out from underneath
Yeah,
you.
it looks
you
just like everything else.
It doesn't shake when you're on it. It doesn't change colors when you're on it. It just falls. You step on it, it falls. And
better
it's
be quick.
And you're not, I died. It's like so many times where it's just like, I guess I just have to memorize where these fucking beams are going to fall out from. And it sucks. It's the worst. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry, we're talking about good things.
Yeah, we'll get to the
well,
bad. I've got
it's hard
plenty.
to say. Like
I have a good thing that I do really like about this game is that the third level in each world is a boss fight with Tom.
Yes.
And with the exception of one of those boss fights, I feel like they're all pretty good.
I had that as one of my good things as well. There's like 3 pretty cool boss fights. I listed 2. One of them was where you have to get, it was the last one.
Oh man, that's the one I hate.
Well, I loved it because it reminded me of the Krusty's Funhouse game where you have to lead the mice.
Lemming style.
Lemming style. And I thought that was a neat mechanic.
Is this the
and
one where you're constructing a rocket?
No.
Oh.
maybe
was
the
before that.
platforms
It-
go across.
Oh,
so the
yeah.
bomb-
No, I do like that
You
one.
light up the blocks.
Yeah, the robots are carrying the bombs.
Yeah, that wasn't the last one. But yeah, the robots are
No, that's a
carrying
great one.
bombs.
I love
and
that
they
one.
hit him. But
And
I
Tom
also,
is huge in the background, you know?
Yeah. But I also liked the level where you build the rocket.
Yeah,
I thought that
man.
was a neat concept.
It's a great concept.
Except that is the last level. But
Yes.
like you go up, it's vertical level. And you got to hit Tom to get him to cough up a key.
10 times. You got to hit him. You throw marbles as Jerry.
Yeah.
And you got to hit him 10 times in the face with a marble in order to get him to drop a key.
And then you do that like 4 times or something.
It feels like 8 million times, but it's 3 times.
you unlock the rocket part and push it off, which is the only time in the game you actually push something.
Yes.
Which is weird.
It
all
is
of a
weird.
sudden,
Yes.
like I wouldn't have thought of that. You know, I would be like, what do I do here? But anyway, you get to the top, you knock the last piece down, and then you build the rocket, and Tom grabs it, and then
Yeah, you have to push it.
you push the
Yeah, yeah.
rocket because his paw is coming out in the mouse hole inside it, and then he grabs the rocket and then gets launched into outer space to die a horrible vacuum death.
Great concept.
It was.
It's a great concept.
neat.
I love the concept.
It's the only thing that has the spirit of the show a little bit.
It really is.
I think the other boss fights did. I think any
all the boss
interaction with Tom
fights-
and Jerry felt right to me.
Yeah, they did give some thought to the boss fights.
'Cause
some
even-
of them were like super simplistic.
Very easy.
but
Like
then that,
Tom and the crane or whatever
Yeah,
in the junkyard.
just hit him.
Yeah.
a bunch and then wait for the magnet to stop, get out of its way, and then hit him some more.
But I loved the concept of that last fight where you're building the rocket. Very cool concept, but that was the least amount of fun I had playing that game.
Because it's so dragged
It's
out.
so long. Like I never playing this game even got close to the time running out, but I died from timing out 4 times trying to build this rocket because it's like you got to hit Tom in the face 10 times.
And he's
which
not out there the whole time.
No.
He'll stick his face out and then pull it back in.
he's
for
playing
a few
he's playing
seconds.
peekaboo with you.
Yeah, and that does. It chews up a lot of time. I don't think that level should have had a time limit.
That
Like,
would have made it
Take it off for this level if you're going to make it that goddamn hard.
sure, or just make it or keep the time if you want to keep the suspense, but you only have to hit him in the face 5 times.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like
cut it in half, we're good.
because it sucks because it's like we haven't talked about the super jump mechanic in this game, which you have to know how to use in order to get
I couldn't
through it.
figure it out. I think I did it accidentally a lot, but I had a lot of trouble with that one.
It's because it's I think it's a horrible mechanic. You jump. In order to do a super jump, you have to do a normal jump first, and then when you land, tap jump again, and then you'll jump higher.
That is what I thought, but I could never time it right.
It sucks, and it's like, and one of the reasons that I hate that last boss fight.
To be fair, you only have 6 buttons.
Yeah, that is true. Why should we use 4 of the other ones, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Even like a Super Mario Brothers 2, hold down for a little bit. You know
Get
what I
that
mean?
extra
Like,
distance.
I don't know. What sucks in that last boss fight is I felt like I constantly had to super jump to hit Tom's face. and I'm having to time it with his peekaboo.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is possible and I'm doing it. It's just so repetitive and takes so long that it's not fun anymore. This is a war of attrition. Like, do I run out of time or do I kill Tom first?
Right.
You know? I don't know. But the other boss fights in that concept, great concept. If they would have just executed it.
The bigger problem being just all the levels to where you're just doing the most basic platforming, jumping on cockroaches, collecting bits of cheese for extra lives and health, and that's just it. It's just, I feel like it was uninspired, incredibly basic platforming.
Yeah.
There's only 20 levels in the game.
Yeah, it didn't feel for the most part like it had the spirit of the show. Like,
12.
at all. Like, I would have liked to have seen, like, I think the Cuphead idea is great, or even like alternating levels as Tom and Jerry. And if you're Tom, maybe one level is like a sandbox level to where there's the mouse hole, and you're getting parts to build a machine, some sort of big contraption outside to try and catch him.
A la Mousetrap, the game.
So, yeah, something like that. Or like you are Jerry trying to sabotage Tom's date with the white cat, or you're trying to undo barriers and let Butch the dog in. Something that feels like an episode of the show. The Ren and Stimpy games aren't good, but they followed the spirit of the show in what they were trying to do. This game just didn't.
And by 1993, they had so much material to pull from.
They only had
50
years,
60 years of material to pull from. They could have done a better job making it feel more like Tom and Jerry.
It was Tom and Jerry programmed by numbers.
And the fact that it was. And the fact that was my first bad thing is you don't get to play as Tom. I really think they should have worked Tom into the game, not as always the boss fight, but have some levels where he's chasing Jerry or doing something and just has to avoid. Jerry could fuck Tom right up.
In fact, he does quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Tom gets the straight fuck over by Jerry. And that needed to be a thing. The fact that Jerry gets to fight him as a boss, and again, those boss fights were fine. But I think leaving Tom out of the game as a playable character is just a terrible mistake. Because now it's just Jerry.
It feels like a basic platformer they just slapped Tom and Jerry on.
Yeah.
That's true. In fact, even like the third world, which is like a toy world, felt like Jelly Boy to me.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my God! Why
Lego blocks and toy
Lego
robots?
blocks?
I know. Always with the Lego blocks.
Fucking Jack in the Boxes in the background.
Creepy
and
looking
fucking
teddy bears
and shit.
I'm fucking sick of it.
I am over that. One more goddamn toy level and I'm done.
There's only one good toy level in video games, and that is the Little Nemo train level.
That is the entirety of the game toys with Roger
Right?
Williams.
Oh yes, I completely forgot about that. That's a movie I wasn't disappointed by at all as a child.
Or the really weird level in Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge where you are Wolverine being chased by Juggernaut in a big toy room.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Juggernaut, I think.
You're right. You were correct. Thank you.
Jägernut.
I'm Jägernut, bitch.
Oh, right. Good things about Tom and Jerry.
Well,
that's it. We're out of them.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. I don't think the game was atrocious by any means.
No,
it's
it
just,
could have been a lot worse.
It's too simple. It's too boring. It doesn't use the source material. It's just a whiff.
It's mediocre.
Well, that's one of the things I put is that they went
mid, as the kids would say.
It's mid, yeah.
They just went too safe.
Yeah.
None of the stuff that made the original show good was really omnipresent there.
I feel like that I really do feel like they had something else built and then just
they whiffed. They totally
copied stuff.
Yeah,
onto
they
it.
did. I'm lobbying hard for the Cuphead version of Tom and Jerry.
Or you could do a thing where it's like
you're their owner. And they're just fucking your shit up all around you. It's survival horror as they try and kill each other. Or you're just having a conversation.
You're their owner. Is that Mammy Two Shoes? Was that her name?
God, yes. A Friday the 13th style game. Only you're Jerry running from Tom.
Well, see, that's where I was
Tom
going. I
got
want
bitten by a
trying to
raccoon
kill
and he's
you.
rabid.
I want asymmetrical multiplayer here.
Yeah.
Where like one player's playing as
Yeah.
Tom, and then I don't know, you got like a bunch of Jerrys.
It's who's your daddy over your
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
You got a
Ah,
Jerry.
shit, Jerry's in the oven again. Jerry, don't eat that battery.
You got a Jerry. You got a Tuffy. You could be the white cat.
Butch the dog or Butch's
Quacker.
son.
Yeah, of
Quacker.
course, naturally.
Quacker. You could be
Or-
a cute little quacker.
It's The Sims, but it's Seinfeld, and Jerry Seinfeld is replaced by Jerry the Mouse. And that's it. It's never brought up. It's never mentioned.
Everyone just rolls with it. Especially when Elaine fucks him.
Hey, they were friends first.
You mentioned the level in the house, the levels in the house with the kitchen.
Sure.
The aspect ratio on that
It's busted.
is so fucking broken. That's my third bad thing.
It's busted.
Everything's, got to be relative to the size of a fucking mouse.
Homie,
we got salt shakers that are smaller than the mouse sitting
forks.
on the counter.
You got fucking forks in the game. Are these mouse forks? Why are there so many mouse forks in the junkyard?
Well, they couldn't sell them. They had thrown them away. They're too small.
What the hell?
Is this the mouse junkyard or is this the human junkyard?
Why is
With
Tom
cat-sized cranes.
Yeah. Why is Tom so big in that crane? Is that a mouse crane that he's squeezing himself into?
Fuck, it was a mouse junkyard. Why does that exist?
It would fit on this table, apparently, with a little crane. I don't know, but
God.
the kitchen was the worst.
Dude.
Like the frying pan.
Dude, yeah.
There's frying pans and shit in there, and the frying pan was only a little bit bigger than Jerry. I mean, it's
Yep.
just like, what the fuck? Is this a dollhouse?
All those mini Cracker Barrel, cast iron
Yeah.
skillets that make
Yeah.
a single piece of cornbread.
God.
The fucking enemies. I swear to God, there was a pimento olive with legs.
Yeah. I think
That was
you're
an
right.
enemy. I assume that's what it was. That's what it looked like.
One of the enemies looked like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors.
There was
Then
a-
there was little tiny Frankenstein
Yes!
wind up things for some reason.
There was
that are,
a little ham.
yeah, just a ham.
Just a little ham with legs.
As a treat.
But, and remember,
Jerry can have a little
so it goes with my cheese so nicely. Just, it was bad because the little wind up Frankenstein dolls would have had to have been like a centimeter tall.
Yeah.
It's like it loses you because they're trying to create this illusion that you're a mouse in this giant world.
Right.
But nothing is proportional. Nothing is proportionate to a
It's just
mouse.
ultimately lazy. Like,
Yeah. And you're throwing marbles.
You get what we're trying to do, right? I mean,
I think that
we didn't do a good
proves
job of it, but
that proves it was a different game.
it
That
could.
they just slapped Tom and Jerry on. So
Yeah.
it was meant to be something else. And they
Jelly
just-
Boy 2.
They didn't even fucking think about like the forks. No, it's fine. No one will question it.
And to reinforce that, earlier I misspoke when I said that there were 20 levels in the game. That's completely wrong. I'm just bad at math. They're 12. So, not a lot of thought going into this.
The long play was 28 minutes. I watched through it.
The speed run was 11.
Yeah.
So
It was only 13 minutes longer than the long play for Stone Protectors. So
Their stones of power glow.
This they do. But just all in all, poorly executed.
God, I'm so glad you mentioned the size of the fucking forks
Fucking
and shit.
salt shakers. The fucking
Oh my
salt shaker would have
God.
been half an inch tall.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
What the fuck salt shaker is half an inch tall? And don't tell me it's a perspective thing. No. He's on a countertop. That thing can't be more than a foot away.
I mean, unless it's I guess a kid's like 'cause Melissa as a kid, she had all like the little tiny like boxes of Cheez-Its and shit like that for like little bitty play sets.
Polly Pockets.
But that's still weird. Yeah, it's between like a Polly Pocket and a full. Yeah, because I still have some in my fridge that are magnetized. Like it's like the size of a pencil, but like it's aluminum foil or whatever. So,
okay.
Oh, Cohen loves those things. You
Yeah.
can buy them in little blind packs, and it'll be like a box of
Mouse
Uncle
forks.
Ben's rice or something, along with mouse forks and teeny little salt shakers. I don't know. Just that irritated the shit. Normally, I don't notice stuff like that. But it was impossible.
Dude, it was abundant
to
in this
miss
game.
In this game, so yeah,
it's so fucked up too, man. Because they go from trying at least, because in like you're saying in that first world, it's cockroaches and there's an occasional like rat
and a mosquito from aerial attacks.
And then by the last world, you're fighting like tiny hams.
You're fighting Fantasia enemies.
It's insane.
What should we make this? Fuck, I don't know. A ham? Fine, ham. We got to get this done. And also one other little footnote in the bad thing. What the fuck was the fish tank about?
Oh my God! Random water level out of the fucking blue.
They had to check off the tropes.
That was 2 screens
with catfish in it,
and you can't move. Like it was like easily the worst water. And I hate water levels in most games because they stress me out. Because you're either going to drown or you can't move fast enough, or both. The underwater parts of Waterworld were better than this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And this was one little sub-level inside the last level of the house. It's maybe 2 or 3 screens long, and then you leave, and that's it.
And they
just missed a train.
Swim
if they did
down.
a train segment,
right.
they would have checked them all off.
Swim down, slog across, swim up.
Well, that fucking aquarium has like these fish, these big yellow fish with sunglasses that are obviously enemies, and then fish that you think are in the background that are really small, but no, those are fish that are gonna fuck you up.
Once again, perspective, people. So yeah, just
I'm so glad
an unenjoyable experience as a whole. Not fun, but anyway.
But is it a buy, a rent, or a birthday?
This is maybe a rent. Maybe. I mean, I probably would have rented it and been like, what the fuck? And been glad I didn't get it for my birthday.
Yeah, I would have rented it, beaten it, and been like, I don't want that again.
Yeah. Definitely a one weekend
Dave?
Disappointing rental.
Nah. Like this, if I saw this on the shelf as a kid, I would have known this was poison. I wouldn't have even picked it up. This might have been a birthday. As in, like, somebody knows that I like watching cartoons and have a Super Nintendo. And they're like, oh, here you go.
I'll appreciate this when I'm almost 40 and collecting video games and I don't have to buy it later.
I won't appreciate it even then.
It's not a good game.
It's not. And it's not like a proud one to have in a collection either.
I mean, it's just a filler, right? And I think that's that's the best word for this game is filler.
Yep.
It's going on ahead, the top,
this is
bottom.
Naruto going to a village you'll never hear of ever again. It's just
top and bottom 100. It just falls like somewhere in the middle, somewhere. I don't even know where to put it.
Yeah.
Just because it just wasn't great. It wasn't the worst. It had some elements that were neat, but it failed in the long run. And I'm not ever going to really probably think about it again.
Nope.
I'm not even mad enough about it to like.
We'll make jokes about the tiny forks, but that's,
tiny fork, mouse forks.
Mouse forks is probably the lexicon a little bit, but other than that. How about achievements? You guys got any of those?
I have a couple.
What you got?
Lazy achievements.
Girl, same.
My first one is Puss Gets the Boot.
Ah, yeah. A little reference to the titles of the
shorts. The first actual Tom and Jerry short was called Puss Gets the Boot. And all you have to do to get Puss Gets the Boot is beat the game by sending Tom into space with the rocket. My second achievement is The Cheese Stands Alone.
Nice.
And to earn The Cheese Stands Alone, get killed by trying to get the cheese that you can't reach because you can't do the super jump, and enemies are fucking running into you while you're doing it.
Can I tell you about absolutely piss poor level design? The game, so the way it works is big pieces of cheese give you health. Life. They give you a heart. You can have up to 4 hearts. And what this fucking game does is at the end of a level where there are no enemies, sometimes, like there's one of the toy levels, 2 big pieces of cheese at the end. Why the fuck do I need this?
Yeah, because you get your health back when you start the next level.
I don't need this at all. Why is it here? It doesn't give me points.
Doesn't do
it
anything.
Literally serves one purpose, and that is to refill my hearts. And
which is going to happen when I exit the level, which is literally
one screen away. Just like it's right there.
an inch away from where I'm standing. Yeah. Terrible.
It's really bad. It's like insulting. like that.
Like,
really,
oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you've been dodging and ducking and weaving, and then, now you're going to, thanks. Thanks for the help.
Yeah. No, it hurt my feelings.
I get that. I didn't care for the. There was one. Did you notice the one and only one up in the game?
Yeah, I only saw the one, and it's
was
a
only one.
total trap too.
It is. You don't fucking don't do it.
Okay, so like you're playing a platformer, right? And it's like, okay, if there's like this little alcove, imagine there's a wall, right? There's a wall to your right, and there's a little alcove in that wall that has a power up. My logic is, okay, I can jump hard at the wall, ride the wall down, holding right on the D-pad, and then when I get to that segment in the wall, it just shunts me over, Mario style. That is not how this works in this video game. Like, I don't know if you have to make that jump perfectly or what, but I gave the fuck up on that one up.
I watched I didn't get to it personally, but I watched the long play, and I was paying attention because I didn't play the game all the way through. And he gets to that point where there's this one up. It says one up,
and
it's the
yellow.
only time in the game that you get, because if you get 100 bits of cheese, which are scattered about the level, you get an extra life. For every 100 you get an extra life. This was a one up. I was like,
straight up.
I paused it. I was like, was this what the fuck? Because I knew it was almost over. Because the long play was 28 minutes long, and this was like at minute 19.
If this were a YouTube thumbnail, that one up would be circled in red.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, what the fuck? So they just randomly give you an extra life that is impossible to get without falling and dying. And it's like,
it's Noah's Arcade. You can't get it. It's just there to make you die.
I never got
It's one of Tom's traps.
There you go.
It's purposely done. But anyway. That was my 2 lazy achievements this week.
I've got 3-ish. Some of these are going to be off the fly. Some of them are not. So, all of these are half-baked. First achievement, no ticket. In order to unlock no ticket, realize in the last level that there's fall damage in this fucking game. In this fucking platformer, there's fall damage. I'm building a fucking rocket, and I'm like, I know, I'll take a shortcut to the bottom by falling because it's a platformer, and I'm a cartoon mouse, and surely it won't kill me. It does.
Damn.
Did you not know this was a cinematic Tom and Jerry platformer?
That like if I wasn't on the very fucking end of the game, that would have been I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off.
Yeah,
that really was just like,
I did not know that.
Fucking kidding me? There's fall damage in this game.
And there's nowhere else in the there's no other real vertical levels in the game where you could fall from that height. It's kind of like the pushing thing. It's like suddenly there's this thing that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Horrible. I fucking hate that boss fight.
Wow.
Like, I mean, it's just like, because you're like, it takes so long to kill Tom.
That makes a lot of sense. I would have felt the same way about that level if I hadn't just watched someone do it as opposed to playing it and having fall damage. I did not know that was a thing.
So I got no ticketed. An invisible Indiana Jones threw me off of a Zeppelin to my death.
Gotcha.
Next achievement I have, playing off of yours, Ian. This was my favorite of the short titles. Saturday Evening Puss.
Nice.
In order to unlock Saturday Evening Puss, fucking turn this off and go have sex with your wife. That's how you unlock that one. Or it doesn't have to be your wife. Any puss will do.
Any consenting adult.
Any puss will do.
I don't think you heard me.
Save it for your achievement.
I didn't say the word consenting, did I, Tyler?
Next achievement. Who moved my cheese?
There you go.
In order to unlock Who Moved My Cheese, give up on that one up and collect about fucking 1,000 cheese bits, which is what I had to do. I had to start farming cheese bits near the end of the game.
They come back
to try to get through. There are no continues in this game.
None.
So it's like once your lives
No
are
codes,
done,
no continues.
it's over.
You're
No
done.
checkpoints.
Got to hoard those fucking cheese bits.
There wouldn't need to be checkpoints because the levels are so short.
Yeah.
You could run and gun this game. If you know how to jump through it, you'd be all right. But yeah.
I've got 3.
Okay.
My first one is Jumpman. Beat a level only killing enemies with your jump.
Okay. Good one.
My other one is Shootman. Beat a level only killing enemies
As LeBron James.
as LeBron James
As Mega Man.
with your marble. And then Man. Just don't jump, don't shoot, just get through the level.
Man.
You just turn the game on.
You turn it on and go, man, and shut it right off.
You want to see what Flopsy has to say about this?
Boy, do I. I bet this is a common game. I own 3 copies of it. If it ain't common, I'm going to be rich.
Oh, I forgot you said you had a bunch of copies of this. Common game, and I'm going to say that Flopsy gave it probably 2.5 stars.
Man,
I'll say 2.
I'm going to go 1.5.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
If it's anything above what any of us
Dude,
said,
if it's a 3,
tear that page out of Flopsy.
3.5 stars. Love Tom and Jerry.
if it's a 3, I'm going to let this fucker mold like that one.
You look at him.
Look, it's like Red Dragon. All of a sudden, do you see?
Send it down the street in a flaming wheelchair. Back to Pat Country.
I've always said if
Right in front of Pat Country's house, burn it in a wheelchair.
I've always said that if Tadpog were a movie, Philip Seymour Hoffman would play Flopsy.
Fuck.
God damn it, Tom and Jerry, fucking Flopsy, what are you doing to me, man? What are you fucking doing to me?
God.
According to Flopsy,
no.
God damn you, motherfucker. According to Flopsy, aka the ultimate Nintendo. It's man, I'm gonna chuck this so bad. AKA the ultimate Nintendo guide to the SNES library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Country, courtesy of Monster Ball Mike and of Shadowy Benefactor. Tom and Jerry, common game. 3 stars.
Fuck.
3 stars, my dudes. 3 stars.
I was
No.
being generous by saying 2.5. Oh my God. No fucking way.
I'm not even gonna read
Wizard
the
of
summary.
Oz is better than this game.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I agree because I feel like the Wizard of Oz could be tweaked
At least
much
you can play
easier
as someone
and-
else.
yeah, and make it better than Tom and Jerry.
Wow. That is too high,
boy.
Flopsy. Flopsy, you're grounded.
You are fucking grounded. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've had a time talking about Tom and Jerry. If you were to give this game a beard, sums up how you feel about it. What kind of beard would you give it?
Droopy the dog's boring ass dog beard because it's just
And all dogs have
boring.
beards, right?
All dogs have beards.
Just like they all go to heaven.
Yep.
And just like they can't look up.
That's true. I've done studies. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would you give it?
The glasses of Sheldon the Turtle from Rocko's Modern Life.
Young Sheldon the Turtle?
Because he's also slow and boring.
Yeah. Turn a page.
Wash your hands.
Bazinga.
Buzzing.
How much do you guys think this game is? If you were to buy it. Common game. Loose.
$7.
$13.
$13. Actual price of Tom and Jerry for the Super Nintendo loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $9.99. I didn't pay that much for it. This game came in so many fucking like Facebook Marketplace, like selling 10 games.
No.
Selling 10 games for $12. Sold. Guys want to see what we're going to play next?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Any suggestions or do you want to randomize it?
I mean, we could do Beethoven second since we were talking about it.
We could do Beethoven second. What do you think, Ian?
No, that's fine. We can do that if you want.
That'd be an easy one. You're gonna be gone,
Kind of, sort of. I have to watch the movie. That's the hardest part because I've never seen Beethoven
shit.
Second,
I haven't
and I don't even know if it's streaming anymore.
I haven't seen any of those movies. Isn't Charles Grodin in those
Yes.
movies?
Is he in all? How many of them is he in?
I've seen this. I saw the second one in the theater. Yes, he is.
Okay. I'm under
That one's got me.
I don't know if you have enough time.
under
to do
normal
that, though.
circumstances. I would totally be
Yeah.
down to watch Beethoven Second and play the game, but
I
I'm
feel
going to
like
be out of
that's going to
town.
be a requirement. So let's table that until.
Let's see what the
either-
randomizer has
Yeah,
to
let's-
say then.
Okay,
If the randomizer comes up with Beethoven Second,
it's meant to be.
we get a.
I'll find a way.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, so I'm gonna go over here and grab this batter up peripheral, plug it in, do a wild and crazy kid style, put my own run direction, say the prayer we all love to say. No whammies, the whammies. Stop.
246.
The D's,
The eyes?
eyes. Is this one we've done before?
Nope.
Eyes.
The eyes. I guess.
Shit.
It could be
in
the
the heat of the
T's.
night for Super Nintendo.
Well, yeah. All right.
I
It's
have no idea.
the IRIM Skins game,
What?
So Irem's a developer.
and is this like shirts versus skins? Is this a basketball game?
That sounds like a horror movie.
The IRIM Skins game.
Irem, REIREM.
I'd look it up in Flopsy, but he's grounded.
Oh, it's golf.
All right.
game.
A golf game.
It's called Major Title.
Huh.
It's coming up as It's coming up as Major Title.
Yeah, Giant Bomb has it listed as the Irem Skims game. The Irem Skims game, no, outside North America as Major Title 2.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So it had different release under different names.
All right. Well, let's.
You see, Japan got Final Fantasy IV, and we called it the IRIM Skins game.
92.
Let's play some golf.
All right. It's golf time,
All right.
apparently.
I wonder if there
Is this
are...
part of a series?
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Can we
mean...
knock a couple out?
It
we'll
was
see.
originally an arcade game.
Okay. All right. There might be some promise.
Maybe a little
there.
promise there.
I'm not going to lie to you, not to spoil anything. I don't mind a golf game.
I don't either. I generally am okay with most golf games. I mean, it's in all of its forms. It's still kind of a basic concept that's fun to play.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind a golf game. Where I always fuck up is like if I have to choose the clubs. That's where it's always like, I don't know, man. Driver.
Wood?
I don't usually have problems with that because I actually played
Yeah,
for
that
years,
would definitely.
So I
help.
understand what they do. But
Sure.
yeah. No, I get that.
So I like the games where they suggest a
Yeah.
club.
Just take what they give
Yep,
you. Yeah.
and go with it.
exactly.
Yep.
All right, so the
IREM
Irem
Skins
Skins
game.
game.
Weird.
Well, we're running short. We know we got a lot of shit to do, so we got to call it there. But thanks for listening, everybody. Find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, all over the place. Just Google TADPOG. TADPOG. Let's see. I know, Ian, you've got a lot of stuff to go over, so I'm just going to slide that over to you.
Not a whole lot. We have a Patreon. People give us money. Some people
Believe it or not.
Some people give us more than others. The ones that give us $20 or more
Get
per
Saturday
month
evening puss.
get Saturday evening puss, and puss gets the boot. Get the puss, get the Saturday evening puss, and then puss gets the boot, so you can get back to playing your video games.
Love it and leave it.
Love it and leave it. Those people that give us $20 or more per month are our executive producers, and I'm going to read a list of those people right now. Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Usurper Grimm, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Landon, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball Archmage, Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first-time caller, and Drinksmith Joey Webster. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Thanks to everyone who donates. If you'd like to donate to the show, help us keep all this quality podcasting going.
I like how you said that.
Patreon.com.
I like the fixins you put on that.
Fixins. It's a thick fixins. Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Yeah. Thank you guys. For
Really do appreciate it. Not going to do anything about the toy box right now. Again, we're going to push that out to after the first of the year.
Yep.
Let everybody do their Christmas shopping.
We got, speaking of Christmas shopping, we do have a Secret Santa going on, organized by some great members on the Discord.
I'm going to send Chris his gift this year.
I don't believe it. I
Going
don't
to.
believe it.
Well, I'm going to give it to Ian to send.
That I believe. That I do believe.
I will take care of it.
That I also believe. If you want to join the Discord, sign up for the Secret Santa. It's bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. And get in on the chatting and get in on the shopping and the fixins.
I spend a lot of time on the Discord.
So it's pretty great.
We talk amongst ourselves a lot to discuss show-related things and other stuff, but I'm out there all the time in the main rooms.
Doing crowd work.
Doing crowd work, trying to work up the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm the Flava Flav of the show.
I've always said that about you. Philip Seymour Hoffman, you're the Flava Flav.
TADPOG hype
You
man.
fuck 7-foot tall blonde girls? Yes.
When possible.
On Saturdays.
I'm your hype man, baby. So I'm out there on the Discord as well. We're all just in there hanging out, but I do tend to jump in and throw out my 2 cents. So if you're interested in talking to me and not just listening to me, you could find me there. What else we got? Anything? We good?
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track found in the show notes at tadpog.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As how we think Tom should sound. He talks sometimes. I don't know that I've ever heard him talk, but he does talk.
There was a whole season of a show where he talked,
Doesn't seem right.
which I don't know. Yeah, I'm not okay with. But yes, for this purpose, I say we do that.
Okay.
So until next time, Jerry is a buffoon.
Capricorn.
Try to be scratchy.
Good scratching. Computer,
Oh boy.
give me a list of all Hanna-Barbera characters.
Look, I have one for you to look up. Look up Mammy Two Shoes.
No.
Have you heard of that one?
I don't want to look up Mammy Two
trust
Shoes.
me. Look up Mammy Two Shoes.
Flag for racism. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember Mammy Two Shoes. I did not realize her name was Mammy Two Shoes.
I don't remember her at all.
Those are the old cartoons.
Yeah,
like
first-
the first iteration.
First appearance 1940. Last appearance 1952.
And everybody thought that was hilarious.
I mean, I still
Racist
think it's
characters.
hilarious, but for a different reason.
Yeah.
Mammy Two Shoes. Hanna-Barbera character.
She just birthed some babies.